Tina and Tina Fey is actually short for something else. What is that? 215-263 WMMR is the number, and we will go to Gina to see if we can get the answer. Hi, Gina.
Good morning.
Gina, we're asking you about Tina. So what is it? What is it short for, please?
Stamatina.
Stamatina, yeah.
I've never heard of that name.
Is that Greek?
Yeah.
Hang on a second, Gina.
That's her middle name, right?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Her first name is Rocky.
No. Rocky Stamatina Fey. No, it's Elizabeth Stamatina Fey. And I guess when maybe picking a stage name, or maybe she grew up people calling her Tina. I don't really know. But it's sometimes when a stage name comes into play, you might take a form of your middle name or use your middle name, and maybe she did that.
Just a juxtaposition.
So we're going to give her a pair of tickets for the Metallica 72 Seasons Worldwide Listening Party, and it's coming to theaters nationwide one night only, Thursday, April 13th. You can be the first to hear the new Metallica album in its entirety the day before release. Played on the big screen with full surround sound and featuring introductions from the band for every song. For tickets and a list of participating theaters, you can visit Metallica.film. I have a few stories to run by you. A New Mexico judge denied Santa Fe's district attorney to take on the case of Alec Baldwin. The slow-moving case will examine, obviously, Baldwin's involvement in the death of cinematographer I can't say the name. Helena Hutchins.
Yes.
Hello. Variety reports that this is the second prosecutor to be dismissed from the involuntary manslaughter case, as the pickings are slim within the county's district attorney's office.
And one of the initial charges that he was levied against him would have been retroactive, which would have made it illegal for them to charge him with that crime, the gun crime. Yeah.
Yep. So that drama continues.
And it's going to go on forever.
More courtroom drama. Now, this shouldn't go on forever. The man claiming Gwyneth Paltrow ran into him on a ski slope 7 years ago took the stand on Monday. We have some clips, I believe.
Yay.
After the Hollywood star and lifestyle influencer's testimony in what is expected to be an 8-day trial. We have two different clips. So Paltrow had told the Utah jury unequivocally Friday that Terry Sanderson collided with her from behind on the slope at Deer Valley Resort in Park City, Utah. Sanderson, a retired optometrist, initially sued her for more than $3 million in damages, an amount later reduced to $300,000. Paltrow countersued for $1 in attorney's fees. Sanderson, who described himself as a careful and frequent skier, described the incident as he recalled it, including seeing signs warning skiers to slow down. Does he touch on that in this clip?
So he talks about the hearing her scream and getting the collision.
Let's do that. Here we go. This is what he had to say about getting the scream.
I just remember everything was great, and then I heard something I've never heard at a ski resort, and that was a blood-curdling scream. I can't do it. It was, It was like somebody was out of control and gonna hit a tree and was gonna die. And then, boom, that's what I had until I was hit.
All right. A ski instructor who was there, I guess, with Paltrow, observed her being hit by him.
All right. Before we go to that, he continued on to say, I got hit in the back so hard and right at my shoulder blades, it felt like it was perfectly centered. The fists and the poles were right there at my shoulder blades. Serious smack. I've never been hit that hard. He said the impact sent him flying and that all he saw was snow as he went out of control. And the last thing he remembered, he said, was thinking that he should protect his face and head. When his attorney asked if things in his life had changed following the accident, he replied in the affirmative, saying, I'm like living another life now, he said. All right, so here is the ski instructor and saying what he saw.
Male skier took her out from behind. I didn't see it, but heard her scream as she went down. I skied directly to her. The man was behind her. Both were in discomfort. During lunch, she talked of being stiff and sore.
All right, so what did he say at the beginning there?
He's basically saying that what his assessment was, he was behind her, the man you just heard testifying before, the plaintiff in the case. So he was behind her after the collision.
Right afterwards. But what did he say at the beginning here? Wait, I'm going to hear that again.
Male skier took her out from behind.
No skier
Male-
took her.
male
Male skier.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm
he's-
like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
He's reading back from his own deposition right after the accident occurred.
But he also said he didn't see the collision. He just saw the aftermath.
Okay.
He said he did see Iron Man, though.
Wow.
And he recognized her from the film.
Okay. So the optometrist said that he can't ski anymore as a result of the injuries, which he said included 4 broken ribs and a concussion. Earlier testimony had also focused on Sanderson's health. Witnesses included his doctor and his daughters. They've testified about his medical problems, including brain injury symptoms and broken bones. Attorneys are trying to establish whether Sanderson or Paltrow was uphill at the time of the crash, a point of ski etiquette that will also determine who is liable for the accident.
They also had a CGI recreation of the accident with the characters being portrayed by Mario Kart characters, which is kind of weird.
Well, that's informative and entertaining at the same time.
The audience loved it.
Was she Princess? I assume.
You would imagine, right?
So her attorneys, by the way, are expected to call her children Moses and Apple, and now husband Brad Falchuk later in the trial. So there will be more to this on the way.
And this was like years ago, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it just taking this long, or did
Yes.
it just file?
That filing, counterfiling. If you want to gum something up in the legal system, and you have a crack legal team, you can do it.
He initially sued for $3 million, so I don't know when that claim was initially filed.
That was in 2019.
Okay.
And then there was the countersue, which is what Steve was alluding to, and all she's suing for in the countersue is $1 plus legal fees.
Right.
And this all happened in 2016.
Correct.
Yeah. So a year later, I guess he filed suit, and then
3 years later.
3 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 years later, and then it's been continuing on.
You know, I rear-ended this woman one time, and Steve, I was going, oh man, did I? It was my regular Saturday night thing, really. But
You're gonna be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
we in a car. Or were you skiing?
here's the reality of everything. We were both at a stop sign.
Oh.
She false stopped. Okay.
Yes.
And then I bumped her.
Okay.
The problem was, my front bumper was already like half off from a previous thing. So when this woman got out and assessed the damage,
she thought the collision was...
and then she got back in her car, and then when we moved up to get out of the way, she gets back out of her car and she's limping and grabbing her neck, and she had to get taken away by an ambulance. I'm like, you effing bitch. Oh, you lying whore. And seriously.
lying whore.
But what didn't work in her favor was that
defendant called her a lying whore.
Yeah.
Well, so this doctor, this Terry Sanderson, I don't believe a word that he's saying. And I wasn't there.
I know.
But I've been on the receiving end of this. I've been on the receiving end of somebody seeing dollar signs, and that's just ridiculous.
There are people that do that all the time, and they're scum. Listen, and there are people who are legitimately injured. So it's part of the deal. It's up to the court to decide.
I know that's a big story and a big legal matter, but I have serious news to pass along to you.
Oh, no.
What?
As the drama dies down from TikTok's dissection of Hailey Bieber's history with Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Hailey is displaying another public low-key show of support for Selena. Over the weekend, the model liked Selena's throwback Instagram of herself with platinum hair and a quick bikini. Yep. It happened. That really happened.
That's a mind blower.
Yeah, this is reality. I'm sure you may want to plug it in the computer to do a...
Computer, establish communications with Haley. Just take a few minutes.
All right, get back to us on that. So both women follow each other on Instagram, now following their statements on Friday in which they had asked fans to stop harassing Hailey. Hailey has liked Instagrams of Selena a couple of times before, but this is the first time Hailey has liked one of Selena's on Selena's page directly.
There you go. That's it. That's what we've been waiting for.
Do you think that celebrities or people of a certain status will hover over that like button and go,
hell yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what will happen if I touch this?
Because it will be reported on.
Preston, they're just like us.
They're just like us.
So look at the picture that Hailey Bieber posted of this. This is...
No, that's Selena.
Oh, that's Selena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a throwback.
Oh, throwback girl.
Yep. It's a throwback of her and with
Slay Queen.
platinum hair and a print bikini, as stated in the
Slay.
recording. Yeah. On Friday.
Yes.
Just wait until she comments on something, because then that's gonna
I
be
know.
major
Then,
news.
yeah.
Crazy.
On Friday, both women revealed that they had been talking privately about the viral Selena Haley discourse on social media. Fans have had been pouring through Haley's treatment of Selena throughout the years, with some accusing Haley of being a mean girl.
Don't want to be a mean girl.
Haley, of course, is married to Justin Bieber, Selena's ex-boyfriend, whom she dated on and off for 8 years. Now, Selena shared her statement first, asking fans to stop harassing Haley.
Stop it.
She said, Haley Bieber reached out to me and let me know that she has been receiving death threats and such hateful negativity. This isn't what I stand for. No one should have to experience hate or bullying. I've always advocated for kindness and really want this all to stop. Haley followed up her own remarks, expressing her gratitude for Selena speaking out. She went on to explain that everyone, including herself, could stand to be more careful with what they say and post online.
She's right.
She is right.
She said, I want to thank Selena for speaking out as her and I have been discussing the last few weeks how to move past this ongoing narrative between her and I.
They're right.
She said,
They are right.
The last few weeks have been very hard for everyone involved, and millions of people are seeing so much hate around this, which is extremely harmful. While social media is an incredible way to connect and build community, moments like this only create extreme division instead of bringing people together. You know what? They're right.
Right. Mark Summers had a good beat on this.
No, it's actually a good positive message to pass along. It's just funny that a single like has created a such buzz in the world. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. So by the way, somebody texted in, and are they talking about the Tattoos Day, Nick?
No. This one right here. They're
I'm sorry. Here we go. It
doing
says,
better.
Yeah, this text says, I thought about ending it today, but the news about Haley and Selena has given me the strength to keep fighting.
And that's why we report it. Because
why we report it.
because it's an ultimate good.
Oh, my
It's
God.
like Schindler's List.
Yes.
in summation.
I was just thinking of Josh Groban lowering the microphone and walking off stage.
Okay. All right.
Shut the up!
All right, I have a clip to play in conjunction with this next story. Justine Bateman is opening up about why she is embracing aging and avoiding using Botox, fillers, or other types of injections. The 57-year-old filmmaker was featured in a 60 Minutes Australia episode about women over 50 who are welcoming growing older. She was asked if she has ever considered turning cosmetic procedures to slow down aging. Bateman said she acknowledged that it is tempting to look in the mirror and imagine getting a facelift or another operation that remove wrinkles and extra skin. But she said, sure, you can do all of that before stretching her face to show how different she would look. And then she said, I would feel like I erased not only my authority that I have now, but also I like feeling that I'm a different person now than I was when I was 20. And she said, I like looking in the mirror and seeing that evidence. So we have a clip of her talking about this.
Right.
Here we go.
Well, when you say, is there beauty in aging, aren't you really saying, do you think it's possible for other people to find aging beautiful? And like, I just don't give a And I think I look rad. I think my face represents who I am.
So she thinks she looks rad.
She looks rad.
Yeah.
I give her all the credit in the world for that because initially, and I'd seen pictures, and they were clearly getting the worst pictures they could find of her to sell the story. You know, this is before we were very aware of how clickbait is used to manipulate us. And I'm like, oh my God. But then you see her normally conversing. She just simply looks like a woman who is aging.
I think she still looks cute.
She looks fine.
Yeah.
Well, how about rad?
No.
No. I kind of hope she brings the word rad back.
Yeah.
I like the word rad.
Well, yeah, I agree, Kathy. It's just a little odd when you haven't seen somebody at all in the spotlight for a while, and then you see them age. And Steve, I think about Bridget Fonda, who essentially has stopped acting, and then you see paparazzi photos of her, which are obviously not at all flattering, but they are jarring in part just because you haven't seen her in 15
It's part of the deal.
I was I was with friends over the weekend, and both of my best friends do this to me because they both get Botox. But we were talking about, getting like these laser facials and all these things that people do, and the Botox and the filler and all this. And everyone, was kind of touting about like, well, I don't get filler. I get Botox, but I don't get filler. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just like wrinkles. My friend leans over to me and Nick, come over here. She goes, you just need Botox right here. And so she
starts stretching your forehead out.
My forehead where I need it. And she's like the nicest, sweetest person ever. You would not expect her to do it. And
this is going to require some work.
I just started laughing. I'm like, get your hands off me, man.
Here's what you do.
Here,
like
all of here.
Put your hair into a ponytail and we'll attach a kettlebell to it.
Right.
Well, when they give you Botox, they like mark it on your face. And like, so she was like showing me what I would look like if I had Botox in my forehead.
Listen, I think there's some stuff that's been popping up recently about that and about issues concerning filler and Botox that are alarming. So age like Justine Bateman.
Yes.
Rad.
Right.
Radly.
You'll be so rad.
Like, yeah,
Who's that rad girl on your show?
I think my wrinkles look rad, so back off.
They give you character.
The Rad Wrinkles.
Yeah.
That's a good name for band or something. All right. Millie Bobby Brown has taken pen to paper and will publish her first novel in September. The actress, 19 years old now, who reportedly turned down a massive payday for a Stranger Things spinoff, looked comfortable in a pink T-shirt and a puppy print as she announced the news in a video on social media this past Friday.
She's wearing a pink T-shirt with a puppy print?
That's what it says.
Wow.
She said, "Hi, everyone. It's Millie, and I'm thrilled to be announcing my debut novel, 19 Steps, which will be publishing on 12th of September, 2023. I think she is just adorable.
She's totes adorable.
I love her.
May I say she's rad?
Yeah, she's very rad. 19 Steps is a history novel about a courageous 18-year-old woman called Nellie Morris who lives with her family in Bethnal Green in London's East End while the Second World War rages on around them. And it has something to do with the family. So when a tragic accident occurs during an air raid one night, the consequences are catastrophic and life will never be the same again for Nellie. She said, writing 19 Steps has been really a special project for me. The story is inspired by true events and my own family history. Mm-hmm. She explained while showing a photo of herself and her grandmother.
Well, there you go.
She said, inspired by my nanny Ruth, this book is very personal and close to my heart. I grew up listening to stories about her time through the war, and I'm honored to keep the story alive. So Millie's grandmother survived, and I didn't know this story, the Bethnal Green tube disaster, an incident responsible for the largest single loss of civilian life in the UK during World War II. And what happened was 173 people, mostly women and children, were crushed as Londoners were trying to get into the tube station during an air raid.
Right, right. Jesus.
So
I remember that now, yeah.
That's a story I've never heard told before.
Wow.
So, and it comes, her family was involved in that. So good for her, man. She's a smart kid, man. Let's see. A legal expert told People magazine that Reese Witherspoon and Jim Toth's amicable divorce will also end in a financial civility as the couple sorted out a financially savvy plan for their upcoming uncoupling before things got rocky. Witherspoon's net worth is nearly $430 million.
Hey, thanks for showing up today. I'll be handling your divorce. I want to keep everything amicable and skyable.
So things did get rocky.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, her net worth is nearly $430 million. The two will stay.
By the way, if I can tell you, I'm a big fan of Legally Blonde.
The two. Can you show us the bend and snap?
That's how you get a man.
The two
You taught it to Jennifer Coolidge.
will still have to iron out details.
Coolidge. I love the way Rocky says his L's. That's my favorite.
Lollipop.
Details around some of their intangible assets.
What is this guy? What was this guy's deal before? Was he an actor or a
He
director?
invented the Falcon Punch, right?
I don't know. So some of the intangible assets include cryptocurrency or NFTs.
You're thinking of Gwyneth's husband case. That's Falchuk.
Oh, what's this guy's name?
Jim Toth.
Why is Gwyneth Paltrow's husband punching Reese Witherspoon in the vagina?
He was an actor. He's an actor.
Well, we will address that.
He's from Pennsylvania. Second.
Oh, and then I like him.
Aliquipa? Never heard of it, but that's where he's from. Yeah.
Aliquipa.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
He's an actor, producer, best known
It's
for
a Spanish queef.
According to Jim, And stand up to cancer.
Well, there you go. Olay. All right, so a couple other quick things. Some pretty cool MCU news. Captain America New World Order, the fourth film in the Captain America series, continues to stack its roster. And we've now learned that Liv Tyler will return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as scientist Betty Ross, reprising the role she first played in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. Anthony Mackie will lead the project as Sam Wilson, the new Captain America.
Liv Tyler was the love interest
for Ed Norton.
Right, yes.
Yep. She's a brilliant scientist who played a key role in the transformation of Bruce Banner into the Hulk, but she has since been absent from the MCU. Her return is notable after a decade and a half, though it's not yet clear how large of a role the character of Ross will have in the film, which has been building up a long call sheet that includes returning characters from several MCU projects. Specifically, Tyler's Ross arrives in Captain America New World Order as one of several returning from the Incredible Hulk character run. So
that movie listen, that is not a bad movie. It's just in light of some of the other movies that followed it, it pales a little bit by comparison, but it's a solid movie.
So she will be joined by her fellow Incredible Hulk star Tim Blake Nelson.
Yes.
And he will be playing the leader, said to be the film's main villain, which is great because in that movie, that's one of the things they left hanging.
Yeah. Right.
And you're like, okay, they never did anything with that character.
Remember, he started to change a little bit.
Yeah.
He's on the table.
It was the stuff was dropping on his forehead.
Right.
And the leader has this really tall forehead thing.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
When does Secret Invasion come out?
It's a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Oh, crap. I thought it was like soon.
I don't know. They've delayed a lot of this stuff. They're trying to slow down the process, so they're not trying to crowd as many projects into one calendar year.
Also returning will be the character Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, but this time it will be played by Harrison Ford in place of the late William Hurt. In addition to New World Order, features the return of two characters from the Disney Plus series, The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Carl Lumbly, is set to play Isaiah Bradley, the man originally experimented on by the United States government in the course of developing the super soldier serum.
Did you watch that series?
Was it
Falcon and
yeah, absolutely, yeah, I loved it. So he will be joined by Danny Ramirez as Wilson's brother-in-arms, Joaquin Torres, and finally arriving as a newcomer to the MCU is Shira Haas of Unorthodox fame, who is slated to portray the Israeli superhero Sabra. So I'm on board.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So we'll see that stuff when it comes out.
Also, to answer your question, Casey, Secret Invasion is June of this year.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was later?
Well, because there are 12 million projects coming out, so
that's
it's hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah.
All right, I think we can segue over to the clips now. Comic-Con was seemingly the perfect place to promote Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And in this clip, actor Hugh Grant talks about his experience promoting the film.
There was only one person at that convention who really loved me. And he was dressed for the whole 3 days as a hot dog. And he followed me wherever I went. I couldn't shake him. Do you remember the hot dog? I still have nightmares about him.
Shut up, dummy.
So Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves is in theaters this Friday.
It's getting really good reviews, the Dungeons & Dragons movie.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to see this in the theaters.
Love it. Next clip. Here we go. Extrapolations is a new show where the effects of climate...
Extrapolations.
Oh, extrapolations. Extrapolations.
Hey, extrapolations.
It's a new show where the effects of climate change have become embedded into our everyday lives. And in this clip, actor Michael Gandolfini. Gandolfini.
Oh, okay.
Talks about the reality of the project. Here we go.
I think there's a lot of anger and a lot of pain that comes with this, not being able to think about the future in any way that, it's a very different time to be thinking about, can we even bring a kid into this world, and is that moral, right? So I think there's a lot of pain.
Yeah. I started watching this, by the way.
What do you think?
I'm enjoying it. It's really, it's scary. I mean, because it's based on reality and all that sort of stuff. But so
you were scared?
I was scared, but I haven't seen his character yet. I'm only like an episode and a half in right now, and
give it time.
Sienna Miller's in it, and But it's also supposed to take place over a couple of different timelines.
All right.
So, but yeah, I think it's pretty riveting.
Okay. All right.
far.
So thumbs up from you.
Yeah.
On
right.
extrapolations.
Or extrapolations, I think is what I said. All right.
extrapolations.
So there you go. That is the entertainment report for now. We have a lot happening today. We're going to have actor Kola Bokinni on. He plays Isaac on Ted Lasso. He's going to be checking in on the 9 o'clock hour. We have tickets in a suite tonight for the Flyers game. How about that? Pretty sweet deal. And it's Pearl Jam night. So you'll have the opportunity to grab that. Some of us will be in that suite this very evening. We're going to have some stuff from Jersey Mike's to give away. And, man, we have a lot to get to.
Yes.
So let us take a break. When we return, we'll just dive into it all ahead first. So hang out with us on this drive-in this morning. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Place to call to Chuck DeMacco.
An interview with the Daily Mail.
I can't be bought.
He says that he rejected an offer to officiate Napster founder Sean Parker's wedding in character as Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
That's a little demeaning. For how much?
$1.5 million.
I'll put the suit on now.
You're damn right you will. How can you pass that up? I mean, sure, it's below you, but it's $1.5 million.
I'm afraid, how about I'll get the suit now. I'll provide my own beard.
Could you imagine? I mean,
Yes.
you know,
Jesus.
everybody's got a price, right?
Bye. F ya.
I'll officiate as Gandalf. I'll do the first dance as Magneto.
And I'll even do a panda bear. I'll do Kung Fu Panda if you want. I don't give a good goddamn. That's good money.
Ian says I was offered $1.5 million to marry a very famous couple in California.
Yeah, a couple.
Which I would perhaps have considered doing, but I had to go dressed as Gandalf. So I said, I am sorry, Gandalf doesn't do weddings.
Well, why not do it and then donate that money to a charity?
That would, listen, that's a great idea.
No, keep the money.
Okay, donate.
And donate the wedding to charity.
And no, because here's the deal. I mean, you know, it's just the act of dressing up for you. That's the whole thing, as opposed to for an audience or for a review or something, or a piece of art.
Right.
That's where his beef is, I think. So
is the fear that if he does it for Sean Fanning, he has to do it for anybody else that has $1.5 million?
I don't know. Maybe. He said, I don't go.
It is an honor for Gandalf to officiate the wedding of the situation. Many years when we first saw you and your abdominal muscles on the Jersey Shore, we were all moved with your daily ritual of gym, tan, laundry. But as time progressed, you fell in love with Sophia. And now you two shall enter into the holiest of unions.
May we have the one ring.
I'm so glad Mike D is here, and Snooky, and even Puck showed up from
Puck.
an earlier TV show.
Wow. Oh, God.
That would be weird. Yeah, I could see where it'd be a little demeaning. If they make him drive, if the word was he had to literally show up in costume, or maybe they could set up a place behind the, in the alleyway.
He would have had to have been
me with my my socks on going on. God damn it! Why did I agree to this? I can't get this thing that hooks in the back.
Yeah. It's like 90 degrees, and he's wearing this full robe.
My balls are swimming.
So we had a funeral to attend earlier this week, and my entire family cut the line.
Your entire family cut the line at a funeral, at a viewing?
Yeah, at a viewing, yeah. So let me just set it up for you. Let me tell you exactly what happened.
You have a decent-sized family.
Well, so it was, so hear me out.
No, I know what happened. I'm Kathy Romano.
No.
Could I get a seat closer to the coffin, please?
No. So my mom showed up right before us, and so she was in line. My mom was in line. Me, my dad, and both my brothers came a little bit later. Well, we came at the wrong time. We pulled up. The parking lot was full. The cars were on the street, down the street. The line was through the room, out into the lobby area, down the hallway, out the door, and down the sidewalk.
So it's a hopping wake.
It was a hopping wake.
It was the wake to be at.
So it was one of my mom's.
It wasn't bougie at all.
Wasn't bougie at all.
It was one of my mom's best friends. She's been friends with this woman forever. It was her brother. So we knew him. We had met him a few times over the years. Had just recently seen him. Maybe it was a year ago or something like that. But we were there for my mom's friend to pay our respects to her.
Show support. Yes.
So you weren't even super close with this person.
Right.
You figured that you could be obnoxious.
Sure. Yeah. You can cut in line.
No. So my mom was in line, and the line to get up to the family was so long. So the way the funeral home is set up, I parked out.
I'm not doing that.
No, it was not like that. No, just listen. So I parked out back, and there was a back door. So we walked through that door, and they were kind of filtering people because there were other people coming through that door. They were kind of filtering people off to the side to try to get them to go back outside and get in line. It wasn't working. There were other people that were kind of merging into the line, which we probably could have done that. But I looked into the room, and my Christopher goes, "Look, there's Mom," and he just beelined it. He walked directly.
Go.
And they had they had ropes set up, and because there were so many people, they were expecting a lot of people.
Yeah.
No, it was Christopher. It wasn't me.
It's like the wake version of Goodfellas, where she comes into the back through the kitchen, and they, what do you do for a living? I'm on radio.
So Christopher just walks right over to my mom and, says, "Hi, Mom," gives her a hug. Now, my mom is maybe 10 people away from the family, so she was right up front. She had yet to reach the casket, but she was right there.
Yeah.
And my dad, not caring about anything, just same thing. He walked over and just he went, "Excuse me," to the people behind my mom and just stepped right in front of them. So now I'm there, and I'm like, okay. And so I follow suit. I go over and I say hi. And now my mom is facing directly forward, and she's like, "I can't even look at the people behind us. I just can't." She was like,
she's mortified.
Mortified. And I'm like, "I'm gonna go sit in the chairs. I'm not gonna wait in line so that all three of us have now butted in line. I'm going to go sit at the chairs." So I went over, I sat at the chairs, and then when they got up to the family, I just snuck over and I got in. I said hi to my mom's friend and all of the other family members. Now we're finished. We said hi to the family, paid our respects, and we're now exiting. And they have a line set up for the people exiting. Well,
why didn't you take some flowers on the way out?
Right.
Listen, it actually gets worse.
Oh no.
So as we're leaving, when I butted in line, I went in front of my mom.
She's wearing.
I was the first of my family. So I'm leaving now, and all of a sudden I see my brother Jim, and he's walking down the exit line.
He walked up the exit line.
He walked up the exit line, ran over to my mom's friend, paid his respects to the family, and then we all got out. Now we're in the lobby, and the people who were behind us the entire time.
I'm sorry, it's fantasy football night.
Right.
Who never said anything. Yeah. I see them walking out, and I'm like, we got to go. I'm like, let's go. I mean, we were all pretty embarrassed, but
you saved a lot of time.
We just didn't want to wait.
I'll tell you this.
Really.
Khloe Kardashian has a thing for basketball players, of course. Her soon-to-be ex-husband,
I just love him.
Lamar Odom, starred for the Los Angeles Lakers, and now her and her ex-boyfriend James Harden and Rashad McCants were also NBA players, and it looks like Kardashian has hooked up with another. She was spotted vacation in Cabo San Lucas with...
Yoo-hoo.
With...
You're a cutie. What's your name? Yoo-hoo.
An avalanche starts. Porpoises are beaching themselves.
She was vacationing.
You're cute.
You're cute.
You're a cutie pie. I want to just eat you up. And I literally will eat you. I will devour your flesh and bones. In tribute to Zool.
She was in Cabo with Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I say this with all due respect. If you have had the checkered history with basketball players that she's had, as the family's had up to this point.
Right.
Maybe deviate from that a little bit.
But she needs big guys because she's a big girl.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, then get the who's the guy from Game of Thrones?
Oh, the Mountain.
The Mountain. How about that dude?
Yeah, that dude is big.
He's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thor, isn't that his name?
Oh no.
Did you get my email about Pine Valley?
Yes, that they have. You can go walk the course.
Yeah, that Crump Cup thing that they have every year. Are you interested in doing that?
I was actually going to play the golf course.
I know, and that's
I have
why
an
I brought
invitation to it. So
Don't you want to walk it first?
Shut up, man. It is the #1 golf course in the world.
In the world.
A lot of people don't realize that. Here, right across the river in New Jersey, kind of near the Blackwood area.
It's in Clementon.
It's by Clementon Park.
Right.
The #1 golf course in the world. According to Golf Digest, according to Golf Magazine. Yes.
In the world?
In the world.
Is right here?
Well, then, all right, dare I say the universe. Because I'm pretty sure they're not playing golf
in the
anywhere
known
else.
universe, yes. It's called Pine Valley. It's super duper, extremely exclusive.
I read that whole
Just
article.
one second,
sent.
if you. Just 1 second.
Okay. Sure. I've been invited by somebody who knows a member there.
And don't you want to walk it first, maybe?
We were supposed to play like a month ago.
Oh!
The day before.
Oh, Steve, I got something.
The day before I was supposed to play, I got a text from them that said that there was a work emergency and I couldn't go. And
You were so excited.
I'm not even making this up. I'm not saying this figuratively. I literally was having a dream about it the night before. I was that stoked to go.
Steve,
And it hasn't come together yet. So is this the privilege approaching?
Privilege. Privilege, privilege. Privilege, 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 privilege. Privilege, privilege. Privilege.
Steve was showing me a video this morning. The Paralympics are going on right now.
They're fascinating to watch.
I saw two things the other day. I saw, Nick showed me a volleyball player who's 8 feet tall, and he just sit on the ground and play volleyball, but he's an 8-footer, so he's got a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, basically he's taller than the net.
Yeah, and then I saw a guy in an archery competition with no arms.
Yeah.
So he holds the bow and pulls the bowstring back with his feet.
And that requires a good amount of strength.
Crazy amount of strength. I don't know what pound-pull bow he was using, but just to position yourself that way is pretty wild. So it got me thinking, us as non-amputees or people born without limbs, are there things that you ever try to do without using your hands or your arms?
Wait, wait a second.
Yeah, Casey found a cup that he can shove
go.
in his mouth.
Mhm.
Now, you could drink from that?
Yeah, so and it's actually really hard because you need air to get in there in order.
Mitchell and Ness.
Flyers
shirt.
Looks great.
3/4 sleeve, which I love.
Yeah.
And I actually did it when we were doing the news, and you guys didn't see it. I spilled coffee. This mug, I love it, but it's horrible.
It's horrible.
No.
And I spilled all over down my left side, and I don't want this.
All right, I'm going to give you a tip. Do you have another T-shirt here that you could put on? If you need to soak water all the way through it, and then do what you're doing right now.
Well, I've started already.
No, it's okay. I mean, you can. It
There's
doesn't
a whole
hurt
bunch
to
of
do
shirts
that.
there, Preston.
You know what I got for you, Press? Is the gritty shirt, the gritty stickman shirt.
That could be cool.
Do you have a large one of those?
I do, Steve. I got one for you as well.
Can you have one?
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Let me finish this. Hold on.
All right.
I'm almost done, but go ahead,
Preston,
Kathy.
let me get my iron.
Okay.
No, if you soak, I just got soy sauce out of Jace's white sweatshirt. If you soak water all the way through to the other side, which is a thin shirt you have on, it's going to help with what you and then do what you're doing.
Kathy's advising you on a way to clean something. I would listen to her.
Listen, and I'm also.
I just don't want it to stain on you.
Casey,
I want to. Yeah, sure. I want to advise you on something else. You got to retire that cup. I know.
What
you
is the cup again? Explain what it is, because it's it's a wonderful cup, but it's impossible to drink out of.
It's a coffee mug that I got. I'm almost done here.
Okay.
Coffee
Wow, it's a
mug
lot.
that I got. I told you it went all down my side. I got it for my birthday because I like to switch out my coffee mugs here.
Right.
And it's from Yellow Submarines, from the Beatles. It's a blue meanie.
Okay.
But it's number one, it's the size of a soup bowl.
Right.
And number two, it's got the blue meanie character's head over here. And so when I try to drink it, it like hits my eye.
Glasses.
So I have to turn it the other way. And it's just weirdly shaped, and I spilled it all over.
There's like 9 different things going on. I'm actually buying shirts from Nick over here.
I'm eating a Jersey myself.
Kathy's conducting a class on cleaning laundry, and you're rubbing your nipples.
Getting stains out.
Yeah.
I'm going to see, Kath, before I go soaking this in water, if this works, if this alone works.
Do Tide sticks work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do
yeah,
they?
They do.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, because I tried once and it did not.
Oh, you may not have been doing it correctly.
Well, and like I said before with the water, you got to soak it all the way through. Like, look at what Preston's doing. It's like you don't just kind of like rub it on the surface. You have to get it wet and soak it through to the other side because the stain's on the back too.
It's a great shirt. You know, so I lost my. There was it was the Winter Classic hoodie.
Oh, I love that.
I love that hoodie.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went.
I almost put that on today, Steve. Because we're going to the game tonight. But I put my Pearl Jam sweatshirt on instead because it's Pearl Jam night at the Flyers game.
Son of a bitch.
I know, right? But I do like this Grit Man Stick Man shirt.
It's great. Actually, do more of these.
Yeah.
So what you may not have been doing right with the stick, Steve, is you have to push down on it and the liquid comes out.
You know what I did? I remember I inserted it like a suppository.
Oh, no.
Don't do anything to your butt.
You don't do that.
And I'm looking at my shirt and going, the stain's still there.
Also, what I love is that Nick got dressed for the 7 p.m. game tonight at 4:15 this morning when he woke up. Like if it was Marissa or I, that's like a whole different outfit after work when you get home and get ready to go to the Flyers game.
You got to pick out your sweatshirt.
You got to put your stink in it to get it ready for the game.
All right. So anyhow, sorry about that. But I need to take care of it, or I don't want it to permanently stain because I love this shirt. Okay, so you know what else stains besides coffee? Food does.
Oh, yes.
And I have a story here. I have an article with some very interesting things about food.
Oh, is this a connoisseur?
Not
really. It's more like the historian.
Yeah, it's more like that.
No,
Historicer.
I don't like the
Historicer
historian. I like
or
the connoisseur.
Connoissorian or the historicer.
So, well, Casey's making it the connoisseur with the music.
Yeah.
No, man.
I get really bored with the historian. It's only because I
right. So take it to a new place.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What do you mean you get bored with the historian?
To me, it's a boring. It's like Kathy with space stuff. I get so bored with historian. I'm so sorry.
But wait a minute. I pick all kinds of different subjects. They just happen to be from years past.
I know. It's just.
You don't like old news?
I don't like old news.
Is it because you feel like you're going to school?
I feel like I'm going to school. You know, you might as well put on a dress shirt with short sleeves that's like brown and tan.
Some bad memories, man.
Did you not like social studies?
I had one teacher that just. Oh my God! It was
got big muscles for a little boy.
No. It was
I'm going to teach you all about the history of making love.
It was straight out of a movie. He was so boring, this guy. And so that's it brings me back to that.
Good history teachers.
I had one good history
that excited
teacher.
me about history.
I had one good history teacher, Mr. Fulcomer. Yes, he's the best.
One of my favorite teachers was a social studies teacher. But I still hated social studies. You know when I actually liked social studies is when my kids were in middle school and I started reading about things like Constantinople and I'm like, well, this is really interesting.
You didn't have to get graded on it.
Exactly.
And then you didn't feel the onus of really having to retain the information. Then you did it out of pure love of history.
I'm like, Mesopotamia, those people were smart, man.
I bet you know the history of the Tide Stick, don't you?
Yeah, not really, but
history of food here, Preston?
All right.
Maybe. We'll see.
We're going to debunk some things you have long thought about, some of your favorite foods. Now excited?
Okay, all right.
All right, so 10 popular dishes that are not from where you think they're from.
Aha!
Oh, all right. Like a Mexican food dish that you think's from Mexico, but it's not.
Or like spaghetti being from China.
Right.
No, but spaghetti and meatballs is in this.
Oh, right.
Don't harsh his buzz here, man.
Yeah, man. All right. We're going to start with fettuccine Alfredo.
Are you a fettuccine Alfredo fan?
Most definitely.
Okay.
I don't have it that often, but my God, is it tasty. You like it?
A good piping hot cup of fettuccine Alfredo in the morning. It's okay for me. It's a little heavy.
Oh, okay. All right. So while it does originate from Italy, it was not brought to America in the wave of Italian immigrants in the early 1900s. It was invented in 1914 by Alfredo de Lelio, a restaurant owner in Rome. And the simple dish of freshly made pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese was created for his wife, who had terrible nausea caused by pregnancy. And it became hugely popular. This is where it picked up. Became hugely popular. After Hollywood stars Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford traveled to Italy in 1920 on their honeymoon.
Do you want a fun fact related to that couple?
Okay.
They started United Artists.
Oh, all right. Well, they were known as one of the biggest stars in the silent movie era, and Fairbanks is a founding member of the Academy, the Motion Picture Academy, and he hosted the first Academy Awards. The pair, who met at a party in 1916, were so impressed with the delicious dish, they asked for the recipe to bring back to the U.S.
No.
And as a thank you, the couple sent a solid gold spoon and fork engraved with the words, "To Alfredo, the king of the noodles," to the restaurant owner.
I'm king of the noodles.
Reporters...
You will give me a hand job.
Reporters wrote about the gesture, and many more of Hollywood's elite actors made subsequent visits to Rome to the restaurant, which added more pictures of famous faces on the walls. It's kind of like, Pat's.
Absolutely.
And,
they've got to go have the fettuccine Alfredo.
Alfredo later decided to retire in 1943.
I've had enough of this crap.
Handed the reins to his son Armando.
Oh, look, Dustin Diamond.
Who would then use the name Alfredo II.
Rest in peace.
Or Alfredo II.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
I will remember you.
The emotional connection comes from Dustin Diamond.
I will tell you, one of the saddest days of my life is I learned about the death of Screech. He'd come in to try some of the fettuccine Alfredo, which of course is named after me. You know the whole Mary Pickford thing. I won't go into it. But as a huge Saved by the Bell fan, it tore me apart, and I knew I had to leave the cooking industry.
By the way, Alfredo II sold it 3 years later to two waiters and opened a new restaurant with
the woman who played it, Tootie.
To his father with Alfredo, and where Alfredo served his famous pasta to President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The restaurant is still in the family.
I'm going to give you the Pasta Congressional Medal of Honor.
It's actually made out of pasta. It's still in the family today and is being run by Armando's children, his son Alfredo III and daughter Inez.
So is it possible to have a trademark or something, in other words, on a dish like that?
I don't really know.
I don't know.
All right, how about this one? Corned beef. Yeah, and that's what you think of, right? Yeah. Immediately. Ireland. No.
What?
Many may be surprised.
What?
That it is not authentically Irish.
What?
Before the 19th century wave of Irish immigration to the U.S., most of them did not consume corned beef.
We would always assume that was a favorite of Ireland.
And wait till you hear how corned beef is made and why it's called corned beef.
Get ready, Kathy.
Cattle had been expensive in Ireland and were important for dairy production and farming, so they weren't...
favorite, don't tell anybody this, but we've been using poop.
Hey, no!
I've got a whole restaurant full of people eating it right now.
Cattle were expensive in Ireland. They were important for dairy production and farming.
Yes.
So they weren't slaughtered for food. They needed to use them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, pork was the preferred meat in the country.
Poor pigs.
Ireland began exporting cattle in Britain when it invaded until the Cattle Act of 1963 and 67 made it, 1663 and 1667 made it,
cattle acts back then?
It made it illegal to send living cattle to the country.
Oh, cattle acts.
Not Cadillac. Cattle.
The Cattle Act.
I didn't realize there was a 1600 version
Did you think
of the
I
Cadillac.
said Cadillac?
Oh, he did. I heard what you said.
But I heard it too.
I knew it was.
They got a thing called a Cadillac.
Okay.
All right.
I got you. I'm listening.
So
I love history.
Here is how do you guys think it got the name corned beef?
Corned beef.
Yes.
Corned
beef.
Corned.
Don't say it until it becomes satiated. You don't want to
corned.
You don't want the word to lose meaning.
Corned.
Maybe we're
Corned?
No. Corned.
For Christ's sake, just take a guess.
Oh.
All right.
Is corn involved?
No.
Thank you.
Oh, all right.
That's a guess, but no.
No, too obvious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there
ask the
was
question.
no corn involved,
Yeah.
and they wanted to keep it a secret.
No.
I have no idea. Nothing's coming to mind.
Enterprising Brits came up with the process of corning.
Corning.
Which entailed dry curing beef using corn kerneled sized chunks of salt.
Oh.
Meaning it lasted longer before it rotted. So they would use the salt, it would cure it, but the size of the salt chunks were they said they must have looked at it and gone, well, that looks like corn. That looks like corn.
Look at that. There's putting the corn in there.
What's corning where? Is it corn
It's an
involved with that?
expensive type of.
I think the town.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
corning.
Back to you,
Corning.
Preston.
Yeah.
So this was then supplied to the British, French, and other countries. However, many Irish people could not afford it and survived on a diet of potatoes instead. But for some reason, and I don't have the origin of how, it became a more traditional Irish dish after that. But it didn't come from there.
That's interesting. You know, to me, then it's sort of like the difference between regular table salt and, say, like kosher salt. Kosher salt tends to be larger, correct? Yes.
Yep.
So then a lot of meat and things were stored in salt to keep it viable.
Yep.
You know,
So it wouldn't rot.
Yeah,
exactly.
There we go.
All
I
right.
did not know. I'm not a massive fan of corned beef and cabbage.
At the Phil's game when we were there, and it was Ireland. I've been dieting, but I decided it was St. Patrick's Day. I would have some corned beef and cabbage because Brazier took us into the catering area. It was fantastic. Oh my God, I love corned beef and cabbage. Did you have any of that, Nick?
No, I had the egg salad instead, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a mistake.
Yes.
I looked at it and I was like, I'm kind of in an egg salad mood, and then I saw the joy that you had on your face from the
Dude,
corned
it
beef.
was so fatty and
I had two
delicious
water burgers, and I had a bit of bread pudding, but they were all good.
So on St. Patty's Day, the traditional dishes are either ham and cabbage or corned beef and cabbage. I'll go corned beef.
Yeah.
And not 10 times out of
Really?
10.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, by the
it's
way,
much
Steve, you
better.
asked an interesting question about copywriting a recipe.
Yes.
Which you cannot do. However, you can copyright a collection of recipes, i.e. a cookbook.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
All right.
Interesting.
How about fajitas?
Oh,
All right.
Yes. Now, I assume that music means you think they were invented in Mexico.
Yes, of course.
Wrong.
Wrong.
What?
They were. They were invented in Texas in the 1930s.
Oh, yes!
Is it a Tex-Mex dish?
Well, it was yes. So Mexican workers created it, but it was actually
They were in Texas at
They
the
were
time.
in Texas at the time. Originally cooked up by migrants in chuck wagons, America's first food trucks. They became a staple on cattle drives. What'd you say, Kath?
I mean, okay, it was
Mexican.
It is a Mexican
origin.
But it was not originated in Mexico.
In Mexico,
Yes.
I got it. Never had it. Don't want my clothes to smell.
Don't you feel like
Never had it.
I've never had fajitas.
Tasty as hell.
I'm a fajita fan.
They look delicious, but and if I'm at a table where someone orders it, I'm like,
You want to pick, don't you?
Get away.
It's just that steam and oh my God, yeah, I can't.
Pick a little. Your fajita looks so good.
I would never do that.
It just makes my clothes smell like fajitas.
I love fajitas. They're fantastic. So, cheap meat was often given to Mexican workers on Texas ranches.
Oh, you had me at cheap meat.
As a form of payment. This is the 1930s. As a form of payment. And they were migrants. They were treated like crap. So they gave them junk. But it was fatty and unappetizing, so they had to make it as tasty as possible. So they marinated it, they cut it into small pieces, grilled it, put it in a tortilla before serving it. Strips of meat were fried on skillets, mixed with bell peppers and onions, and wrapped up in flour tortillas, and there you get the fajitas.
I am more of a fan of corn tortillas, but flours are...
Corn? I knew it.
But flour tortillas seem to corner the market as far as tortillas are concerned.
Agreed. And
it's wild that flour tortillas would corner the corn.
But I like corn tortillas better as well, Casey. Fajitas gained popularity in the 1970s after a man named Sonny Falcon opened a fast food stand and sold fajitas at a local festival. Local restaurants began selling their own version, and America was soon...
Gather around, folks. Name's Sonny Falcon. I want to introduce you to a new dietary thrill.
Was hooked on them. So, all right, we have 10 of these to go through.
All right, let's have some fun.
Let's see if we can make it. All right, chili con carne.
Chili con carne.
Yes. While chili con carne is of Mexican origin, it's another Texas export. Here we come to save the mother effing planet.
You can show me the animated eagle with the machine guns to that song, and I will laugh every single time.
It's hilarious. All right, so...
I'm a chili con carne fan.
Yeah.
It is believed to have also been put together by trail cooks on cattle drives. Yeah! Others claim that it was devised in the state's prison kitchens as a cheap way of feeding prisoners.
What's that you got on that plate, Pablo?
The dish gathered attention across America when Texas set up a San Antonio chili stand at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago of 1893. So the World's Fair essentially is what it sounds like.
Yes.
So.
Which ingredient, Preston, is your wife allergic to?
Cilantro.
Cilantro, yes. Yeah. So she can't have that in any of these.
That's why
that's problematic.
Stay away from a lot of Mexican.
I love cilantro.
You
dishes.
don't really put that in Chile, though, do you?
You can.
I put
Why
it in
do they
coffee.
say it like the country?
You don't put it in Chile.
It's Chile, do you?
Chile. Chile from Nicaragua.
You don't put that in Nicaragua.
It's made of beef, spices, peppers, tomatoes, and often pinto or kidney beans.
As I've said this story, my personal journey, I despised Mexican food as a kid, and now I adore it. And then when you go to Texas and you get, Tex-Mex, you're getting like real stuff. It's fantastic.
Actually, most Western states, Steve, like Colorado has great Mexican restaurants. New Mexico, anything
unbelievable.
That's remotely close, they got great food.
If you're just tuning in, we're going through foods and their origins are not where you think they may be from. So, German chocolate cake. Does not originate from Germany.
What?
No. It was invented by a Dallas housewife.
Texas.
Was she at least of German descent?
No.
Was she of Mexican descent?
I will explain to you why this is the case. And by the way,
I love German chocolate.
My grandmother made German chocolate cake, and she
Did you
found
save me
out
some?
that I loved it, and it was my most favorite. I haven't had it in decades.
When you have it
so good
made properly, it's just fantastic.
It was invented by a Dallas housewife in 1957 who used baking chocolate produced by an English-born confectioner named Samuel German.
Oh, my God.
In 1852 for Baker's Chocolate Company based in Massachusetts. The recipe for German's chocolate cake, which is what it was originally called, German's.
I didn't.
As in his last name, German's chocolate cake.
Kathy can't even talk.
With its now signature coconut and pecan frosting, was then published in the Dallas Morning News and shared across the country by General Foods, which owned Baker's. It then quickly spread across the nation, and the possessive S was lost in the name, and people began to think that the cake was German, so they called it German chocolate cake.
That is wild, that it's simply the guy's name was German, and that's how we ended up with it. I wonder if it has actually made it over to Germany.
Yeah.
And do Germans believe it originated in Germany?
That's a
Are
good
they
question.
living a lie?
Yeah, because... Yeah, initially...
Because America, F yeah.
German's chocolate cake would kind of clear that up, that it would be a name. All right, how about chop suey? I knew you were going to play that.
Yeah.
You had to
Chop
play
suey,
this.
okay, well, let's go with it. Texas.
No. So it is a staple in Chinese restaurants all over the world. It's related to a regional Cantonese dish called sop suey. which was usually made with minced organs.
Ooh.
But the version in America is wholly different and features savory, saucy bean sprouts, water chestnuts, other vegetables, and slices of meat. It is believed to have been developed in the U.S. by Chinese Americans in the late 19th century. So it was invented here in America. So
was it again a case of taking scraps and turning it into something that was edible?
No, they just kind of tweaked it.
Okay.
So its origin is disputed. One theory is that Chinese ambassador Li Hung Chang's cooks invented the dish for his American guests at a dinner in New York City in 1896. Another tale is that a Chinese restaurant in San Francisco threw leftover meat and vegetables in a pan to serve drunk miners after hours.
Where
And by
you
that,
at?
I don't mean underage people. I mean
good.
people who work at the mine. However, most culinary experts say chop suey most likely emerged from a Cantonese American mining camp in the 1880s.
Yes.
They attempted to recreate dishes from their homeland with limited local California ingredients. It usually contains meat, eggs, bean sprout, cabbage, and celery, and is covered in sauce. The dish grew in popularity all over the country, and it became a staple of American Chinese cuisine.
So I wonder, again, in this case, does it make its way back to China as an American, you know what I'm saying? If it's popular, I wonder if it does the reverse.
Yeah, I do not know.
The German cake, Steve, very popular in southern Germany.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because
home of chop suey.
A lot of some of the dishes that we get in Chinese restaurants and different Asian restaurants in America has been Americanized,
Yes, and
to some extent. And then when you go to the actual country, you're like, it shouldn't taste like that. You know, so, all right, how about Caesar salad?
All right. There's an obvious, what we would have to assume, Italy.
Right, because
Caesar.
Julius
Caesar.
No.
What?
Yeah. Wrong. It was created by Italian chef Cesar Cardini in the early 1920s in
Texas.
Tijuana, Mexico.
What? Finally, they get a dish.
Where he owned a restaurant after moving from California to avoid prohibition.
Do you know one of the greatest misconceptions is that a Caesar salad is a salad? It's good. It's low in calories. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's like
Definitely
eating like a Dove bar.
His daughter, Rose Cardini. Nick, can you pull up what a Caesar salad calorically would be?
Yeah.
Because Steve's right. You think salad.
Yeah.
You're thinking low calorie, healthy. But I'm curious as to what a standard serving might offer up for an individual.
Probably not much because the dressing is probably where you're going to get all the calories.
Yeah.
And then it's iceberg lettuce, which really has no health benefit to it.
94 calories.
For how much? That's the McDonald's Caesar salad. 7.5 ounces.
I mean, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. I mean, that is with the dressing or is that without the dressing?
With the dressing.
Okay.
The dressing is the culprit.
Here you go. Click on Food Network. Caesar salad, the truth behind the calories.
470 calories.
470?
In this one, yeah. I guess it just depends on how much dressing you glomp on.
And
there.
that's per serving. So the Caesar salad, like I said,
extra glomping,
was created by Italian chef Cesar Cardini. His daughter Rose Cardini said the restaurant was overrun with Americans one day, and they were short on ingredients in the kitchen. So her father used what was left to make a dish: lettuce stalks, olive oil, raw egg,
and Ajax,
croutons, Parmesan cheese, and Worcestershire sauce.
Oh.
The end result, the humble Caesar salad became so popular, it was soon served in restaurants across the globe.
Who's the gentleman we had come in with this?
Yeah, he passed away, right?
Yes, he could not have been
the Caesar
nicer.
salad
He had
bowl.
his bowl that he had cured to perfection
for decades.
Oh,
and he made salad, and it was fantastic.
it was damn good.
And by the way, if you want to have a Caesar salad, not a Caesar, a salad that has like a pretty healthy, low caloric dressing, dude, use fresh salsa. I'm telling you, fresh salsa as a salad dressing is delicious.
It wouldn't taste anything like Caesar salad.
No, I didn't mean to say Caesar salad. I just meant salad in general.
You can also use just some olive oil, lemon, salt, and pepper.
yeah.
Yep, and you're good to go. All right, so spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh,
all right. So I've heard that the origin is in China for the spaghetti itself, not maybe the meatballs.
Well, we're not going with any of that.
What?
It's not Italy or China. So at least for the full dish. See, they're on the same thing.
I know.
Okay, so-
It screws it up. Yeah.
All right, so spaghetti meatballs are not Italian, contrary to most people's ideas, but they are yet another dish invented in the United States. So, yes. All right, in
Spaghetti
Italy,
and meatballs is an American dish.
Yes.
Damn straight.
In Italy, meatballs are called polpettes.
Yay.
And they were traditionally smaller than golf balls and made up of random meats mashed together. They were popular among poor people in Italy and were
You got
never,
the raisins. You like raisins.
and were never added to pasta, but commonly served on their own as an appetizer or main course. So the combination was brought together by Italians who moved to New York City in the 20th century, who realized that meat was a lot more affordable in America. And the easiest recipe for spaghetti meatballs is believed to have been published by the National Pasta Association in the 1920s.
The National Pasta
Yeah,
Association.
the NPA.
Yeah.
By the way, the gentleman from the Caesar salad fame,
Yes.
Alfio Ganglianese.
Yes.
And he passed away at 85 years old.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart. And he was at Alfio's in Montgomery County. So he was the longtime maitre d' at Da Vinci in Center City.
Those guys, those older Italian restaurants, they raise it to an art form.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
Are you drinking out of the very mug that put coffee on your shirt?
Yeah, it's the only one I have right now. And my stains aren't going away, Kathy.
I know.
Kathy was
Soak
right.
it through, and we got to do it quick.
Okay. Well, I've sat here
Can't
for a
let them
couple hours
set.
now.
Quick-ish.
No, not a couple hours.
It's his Blue Meanie mug.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
And you did it during news?
Yeah.
Might as well set it on fire.
All right. Chimichangas. We're talking about the origins of foods that you may think
Gotta
come from
figure.
one place.
Mexico.
No. They were made they were made in Tucson, Arizona. Yes. All right. So
Has all the world's food that originated in America?
not all of them. One of them we had was originated in Mexico. What is this?
Arizona by the Scorpions.
Okay. Chimichangas, I have to hurry up. It's almost like it's getting close to 8 o'clock.
Right.
Chimichangas are extremely popular in the Southwest. They are synonymous with Mexican cuisine, but they are made in Tucson, Arizona. Owners of the oldest Mexican restaurant in the city, El Charro Cafe, claim they invented it in 1922 when founder Monica Flynn accidentally dropped a burrito into a cauldron of bubbling fat.
Wow.
Woody Johnson, owner of Woody's El Nido restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona, claims he invented the deep-fried burrito.
Woody's a freaking liar.
As a happy experiment 24 years later
That moron.
in 1946. So it's disputed as to who came up with it, but the chimichanga was actually, the deep-fried burrito was made in America.
Chimichanga has an egg roll feel to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pass for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd rather just go straight fajita.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I go straight to enchilada.
By the way, you know what? Speaking of the similar things, you know what I'm way over are cheesesteak egg rolls.
It's been done.
It used to be, wow, that's unique. That's cool. And now,
You know where it is? It's
What?
a perennial in strip clubs.
Yeah.
Is it?
We would go to an establishment, and that would be the finger food they put out all the time.
The Wilson's has and theirs are made like in house.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're not
Okay,
like,
yeah.
All right. The Cuban sandwich.
Oh. Wait, I have an idea on this one. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Florida?
It is.
Which is in?
Which is in. All right, so
That's because of the heavy Cuban population, yes?
man, do I love Cuban sandwiches. They are so satisfying.
Oh, how about the movie Chef?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, man, they show him
Very
making
much.
these Cuban sandwiches, and they are just wonderful. And that's what gives him the idea to go on the food truck. Never seen that movie. It's a wonderful film called Chef. All right, so anyhow, sandwiches filled with mixed meat were frequently eaten by Cuban workers in the 19th century, but they are very different in modern-day America. A Cuban sandwich is typically made up of roast pork, ham, Swiss cheese, and pickles, and usually mustard on there too, and is thought to have been introduced by cigar makers in Key West, Florida, before it was refined in Tampa, Florida. A large portion of the residents in Tampa are Italian, so they would often add salami as well, making the Cuban officially the signature sandwich of the city. So Tampa is kind of where it came into its own.
I'm not a big fan of salami.
No?
No.
Oh, I like it.
I know. So I was just saying, like, I
Yeah.
don't, that's a meat I do not like.
Rochelle makes these salami rolls. It's salami and cream cheese and a pickle in the middle, and you roll it up. Boom.
How have I
We
never
take
had one of those?
We take them to the beach all the time.
Oh, did you put them in your snackle box?
My snackle box?
Yeah.
It's like
I
a
like
tackle
that.
box for snacks.
So the Cuban sandwich is thought to have been introduced by. That's the same thing I just said a little while ago.
But it's still true.
I reprinted it. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm only stating truth here. So cigar makers in Key West, Florida,
and then refined by Italians in
Tampa.
There's a place called Dennis's Pharmacy in Key West, Florida. It's right off of Duval Street. Best Cuban sandwich I've ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And great enemas.
Great enemas, but you got to order those ahead.
Okay.
I got a Cuban.
Well, by the way, the salami part with the Italians, it says only in Tampa.
Okay. All right. So sans salami, I would be on board. Because I do like a Cuban sandwich.
Okay.
I feel like I got one when we went to that Cuban restaurant in Clearwater.
Okay.
Remember
you
that place?
feel like you got
I
one?
feel like that's what I got.
This past visit?
No.
Yeah, you ordered ice cream, but they brought that out.
Pre-pandemic.
Yes, I remember, and I don't know if you got that or not.
Oh.
All right, so these were surprising, interesting food origins.
Mind-blowing.
You may not be aware of, and it wasn't the connoisseur, but you can play the music if you want to, because Casey doesn't like the historian. It makes him feel like he's going to school.
You learn things, even if you don't want to.
Somebody said this is more like the stream of connoisseurian.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah. That could work too. All right. We are going to take a break, but all this food talk, we've got to give you a $50 gift card to Jersey Mike's, right?
Yes.
So they brought by some assorted lunch boxes for us here, but what's important is we'll take caller number 10, by the way, and give that to you, 215-263-WMMR. But what's important is Jersey Mike's is culminating their month of giving tomorrow when 100% of the sales will be donated to Alex's Lemonade Stand.
That's terrific.
100%. Stop by any Jersey Mike's tomorrow to have a sub and make a difference. So we'll take that 10th caller at 215-263-WMMR, and we will set you up. Going to take a break. We'll be back. Some bizarre file stories are on the way for you next. Stay with us. And I'm going to change and soak my shirt.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Using your hands or your arms.
Hey, wait, wait a second.
Yeah, Casey found a cup that he
There
can
we
shove
go.
in his mouth. Now, you could drink from that?
Yeah, so and it's actually really hard because you need air to get in there in order, like, you know how, like,
That's what I was thinking.
The old high C things, you would have to have two holes in the top so it would
to let air flow.
Yeah.
But also, you generally, to swallow, you need to close your mouth, right?
Yeah,
Do you?
so it's not
I
that
can't
easy.
open it around and go,
Look.
Kathy, you can do that. Oh, Max has it. Max can do it. He's got a huge cup in his mouth, too.
yeah, this is probably.
Yeah, there you go. Now, say something. Not quite. We used to scream into cups.
Whack a little like
A broadcaster died during a morning show. This is all well and good, but we have yet to see you actually drink from that cup.
What is it?
Okay, I got a little bit grossed out because the
It's
water,
a urine color, isn't it?
It is, but you know what?
Piss? Was that apple juice?
No, it's water, but no, it's whiskey. This whole time, guys, I've been drinking whiskey. No, it's water, but I had coffee in there first, so it's a discolored water.
Okay.
Let's see it.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Uh-huh.
All right, so with no hands.
All right, so Casey has placed it
on video.
Yeah.
On a tray in front of him.
All right.
And he is now leaning down. He is putting his mouth around it, not using hands at all. See, he's trying to.
That's too big.
So he can't use his hands to put the cup in his mouth either. You know, go ahead and just.
You have to do it without using your hands.
But no. Okay.
Well, I could do it with this one.
All right, use the different cup.
Oh,
he needs a little bit smaller cup. You're going to drink all that, you think?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right.
It's been a long time, Preston. I'm kind of out of practice.
Am I in the splash zone? All right, so he's now putting his mouth around it. He's trying to. I think he needs a little assistance from his hands.
Do you need a little slow jazz?
No, here we go.
What?
He's gonna wrap his mouth around it, and all right, here we go. I want to see this. It's around his mouth. He's throwing his head back. Oh my God! Oh my God, he's doing it.
Gross.
He did it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good job.
That is disgusting.
It is, right?
Yeah.
You have to, Jen, you're just pouring it down your maw. You're not, there's no swallowing, right?
No. You have to glug a little bit.
Yeah.
Your
But,
maw.
but I guess I was maybe a little bit wrong in my initial assessment. I probably did have to use my hands in the beginning.
So Casey has been, he's had a particular brand of yogurt.
I eat Chobani yogurt. I get it. I have it every day. It's just part of it's my breakfast. It's what I have.
It's what makes you you.
Yeah.
And I eat Chobani yogurt too. I do.
But what's the other brand?
Dannon makes a yogurt called Oikos,
Oikos, that's it. Okay.
Which I prefer. It's a little bit creamier. So I brought some Oikos yogurt in this morning. I asked hey, have you ever had a chance to try that Oikos yogurt yet?
Because you've recommended it.
Well, here's the first great part about this is that Casey asks as if he's never asked before.
No.
Which I think is what bothers Preston.
He's asked me several times.
You really have to understand the intentions behind my question because it was a brand new yogurt that I have not eaten yet.
Yogurt.
With a spoon that I have not used yet. So the question really was
It's now or never.
I was going to offer him some.
He wants you to try this yogurt so bad.
I asked him. I said, "Oh, have you ever had the chance to try that yogurt yet?" And then he responds. He's like, "No, you asked me that like a year ago." And
no, he said you've been asking me for a year.
That's what he said.
So,
because it's been a number of times, and so finally,
I sensed some irritation on your part.
Total irritation.
So then the irritation comes to me because I literally, including today, have asked him twice. So he's like, "You've been asking me for a year."
No.
I literally have asked him two times.
You have, Casey. It's been. This was not the second time. It's been many times that you've at least. No, you haven't asked me to try it, but you've certainly said, "Man, I like this stuff. This is really. I used to have Chobani, but this is what I eat, and I like it better."
All right, Preston.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, good.
Agree to disagree.
Whatever. And then finally, I go, "Look, it's at Wawa. Chobani is at the Wawa I go to. That's why I get it." And I just explain it. I just let it all spill out like that. I'm like, "This is why I get it. I have my one stop in the morning. This is why I pick up. It's my ritual. It's what I have."
The nerve had been laid bare.
Yeah.
So.
Right,
with a little more attitude.
And this is right before we're going to.
He was super douchey about it, right? Right, for a simple question. I was just asking about yogurt, and he was a total a-hole about it.
See, this is
I'm tired of it.
This is the husband and wife dynamic. And then Casey had to do a live spot, and Preston put his headphones on. And after you put your headphones on, Casey goes, "I can't say anything."
I can't ask him any questions, and that's how I feel sometimes.
But at this point, you'd think that you would catch on. He doesn't take well to these things after 4 times of asking.
But do you feel he was sending you a sort of trying to suggest that you were not doing something that you were
Maybe subliminally,
you felt
I
you,
get that.
He suggested you were doing something wrong by not trying the yogurt.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I can't say definitively that I feel that way, but
Casey?
maybe on a core sense, maybe that's it. And you've tried to get me to do something several times, and I haven't done it, and it's time for you to go, "Okay, well,
now,
I don't need to do that anymore."
Can you see?
Why is yogurt so goddamn important to you?
Can you see that Casey is one who loves to share the joys that he experiences with everyone, and that for him, it's important that he give you this gift of an extra creamy yogurt.
He eats yogurt every day.
Okay.
He's almost every day.
Casey, how does it make you feel that Preston was seemingly rebuffing your suggestion that he try the creamier yogurt?
So for me, Steve,
Yeah.
it goes beyond the yogurt. All right?
It's indicative of a usual...
It could have been anything.
Okay.
It could have been a piece of music. It could have been yogurt. It could have been...
Music about yogurt.
Another thing.
A restaurant. It could have been anything. So he takes this tone with me a lot of times, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Listen, I've actually heard through the grapevine there's some issues going on here.
That there's some issues going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Between you two. Oh, yeah. It's countrywide, you
Between
guys.
me and Casey.
Crazy.
The yogurt?
The yogurt. Well, yeah, because I received your letter, Casey.
He got a letter.
So, yeah, Casey actually sent me a letter. It's actually a fake letter from Casey, but it
And he
sounds
writes,
like
"Dear Casey."
Yes. It said, "Robert, please allow me to... Dear Robert, if Greeks invented yogurt, Then they also invented a broken heart. Well, you see, I recently noticed that Preston has been eating Chobani yogurt every morning for breakfast. But because I care deeply for Preston, I tried to turn him onto a much creamier, much healthier, better tasting Oikos yogurt. Well, my best intentions have sent our relationship into a spiral. And yes, we operate a mixing board together. But we're just going through the motions. Help us put our passion back in our relationship and into our mixing board.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, that came from Steve. Thank you very much. But it sounded good. It sounded good.
I was aware of everything that's going on here. So
yes. So what's going on, guys? I mean,
well, do you want to show you retired to the set? There is a Robert Irvine show set right in place here.
Oh, you got to be kidding!
No. All right. So Robert, you actually picked up on it. You know what the story is. There has been this tension because these guys are actually the best of friends. However, there are certain issues that were spelled out to you, and you do what you do best. And I've seen some of the clips of.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, Casey. You're a little in your face with this yogurt. Can we have that yogurt, by the way? Can you bring that?
Yeah, bring out the yogurt if you can. Yeah.
I want to try this yogurt. So you've been
on a tray.
Yes.
I hope they're all the same flavor.
So look.
They are. They're all
You're really upset. Look at me when I talk to you. All right. You're really upset that he's using Chobani, right? And you like the other one. So you wanted him to try yours. So here's what I want you to do. Look at each other. And I want you to tell him that you like Chobani or you love Chobani yogurt more than you love him.
Wow. I can't do that.
Very good.
Thank you.
Now I want you to look at him and say you love your yogurt more than you love him.
I can't do that either.
Wow.
I think we just had a breakthrough,
we
guys.
did.
I want you to feed him your yogurt. It's all about breaking. And we're breaking now.
Here comes the airplane.
Okay.
Now,
what do you taste there?
I taste love.
Great. Now you take your yogurt and do the same thing to Preston.
All right, here comes the train.
What do you taste?
It is a little creamier. I will give you that case.
Breakthrough number 2.
Because I don't have any bitterness involved anymore. Well,
but here's the
that's
thing.
clouding my taste buds.
See, okay, so the last time you were gonna not like it as much, regardless.
I kind of tore through that little container at 5 and 3.3 ounces.
Okay.
Very quickly, but now that I've tasted it, it's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is called compromise. When in a relationship for 18, 20 years, whatever the number is, compromise. You have to listen to each other. But when people get on your nerves, like him,
yes.
When they get on your nerve, you have to have more patience. It's like being in marriage. Look at him. He's upset visibly now.
Compromise and patience.
Wow.
I don't think that I am saying, hey, you need to experience this. You really need to do this. You really and after a couple times I try it and I get a cue from him that he's not interested, then I will back off of that.
Right.
Casey keeps going and going and going, and it's just what you do. You know, I mean,
sure.
Well, you got to learn to let that go. If he doesn't go with yoga after
the yogurt
10
thing.
weeks. I mean, you got to give it up.
But the yogurt thing.
Or whatever. It doesn't have to be yogurt.
So I thought he was over exaggerating. You know,
like your little chihuahua.
How in his face I was about the yogurt.
Okay.
He said I've been asking him for like a year, and I felt like maybe I only asked him a couple of times. And I thought the most hurtful part was I had actually was going to let him try some of the yogurt because I knew, and it was just like The Departed. He didn't see it, so I brought it in for him, and I gave him the DVD because I thought, hey, this brought me joy.
That's like you saying to him, hey, you didn't listen to me. Here, watch it now.
Right.
So now you're telling him what to do.
Right.
And he feels confronted.
Now you've like
all right. Now
alienated.
I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it from your perspective.
May I jump in here, Robert?
Yeah,
because I think also in a case they both love each other and they have things that excite them and they want the other to experience that, but they can't communicate on how to get. They feel that they are less because the other hasn't embraced something that excites them.
So is
that correct?
All right, and here's the other part of it all. We have the peanut gallery. Okay, so Preston said what he said, and then my feelings got hurt, and maybe I said something so he couldn't hear because his headphones were on. But
what did he say?
I didn't hear. I can't say anything. Well, I can't say anything.
And then I made sure you knew that.
And then
yes, you did.
Yeah. So then,
right, legging on from Kathy over there. Yeah.
This thing that just would have went away, right? I would have had hurt feelings for about 30 seconds, and it would have went away. Got brought up on the air and became a bit without either of us really approving it or intending it or anything.
So you have to respect each other's piece. If you have something you want to say, and you're in a peanut gallery situation, then write it down.
So, and then there's another
write
part
it
of
down.
This.
That's a good way to do it.
There's another part of this that, so after the show was over, our relationship was a little fractured. It really was. There were some hurt feelings. I knew I hurt his feelings, and he knew he hurt mine. He apologized, and we were about to talk it out. And then Matt Rovine, with his giant bushy eyebrows, came in and ruined everything.
And then you never said anything
because I didn't want to drum it back up.
I was kind of hurt by that.
I know. So
did Rovine say something about the yogurt?
No, he had a feral animal caught in one of his eyebrows, and he was looking for help.
So now that it has been brought back up again, because I didn't want to beat a dead horse, right?
Yep.
So now that it has been brought back up again, Preston.
What?
I called you a couple of names that day. I apologize. I said you were being a dick, and I said you were being a douche. And I thought that was harsh, and those were my hurt feelings speaking, and that was not me, and I apologize.
That's pretty bold of him. That's pretty...
That's good.
Okay,
We're making breakthroughs. Right, stand up and give each other a hug.
All right. Let's feed each other some yogurt.
Love each other.
Love you, man.
There you are. That was simple, right? Communication.
Yeah.
If you communicate well together, don't
WMMR.
All right, we shall do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you this morning by Mulch Works of Aston. They offer the highest quality mulch and topsoil that's manufactured on site. And they also have leaf compost, decorative stone, pavers, and more. Delivery or pickup for residential or commercial markets, you can visit mulchthis.com. We're going to start with this. A convicted shoplifter was sentenced to 70 months in prison for biting off a security guard's earlobe during a confrontation.
Whoa.
31-year-old Ashley Ruth Clark pleaded guilty Friday to second-degree assault and first-degree attempted robbery in Hillsboro, Oregon. In addition to prison time, Clark will spend 3 years in post-prison supervision. Authorities said that Clark shoplifted over $800 worth of merchandise from Nordstrom. When she tried to leave the store without paying for the merchandise, loss prevention officers confronted her. She physically resisted and yelled obscene comments as they attempted to discover the stolen items. During the struggle, she bit the earlobe of one of the loss prevention officers, removing at least a half inch of the victim's earlobe. The victim was rushed to the hospital. Authorities said her earlobe could not be surgically reattached. That sucks. Clark
That's some chomping power.
Arrested and had 2 outstanding warrants for her arrest as well. All right, this is a great story. A handyman was able to get revenge on squatters who moved into his mother's home by showing up with guns and squatting there himself.
Yeah. I love this.
Yeah, Flash Shelton posted a video about his success in removing squatters from his mom's home in less than a day. He said, if they could take the house, then I could take the house. They're the squatter. They have rights. Well, then if I become the squatter on the squatter, then I should have rights, right?
You're a sub-squatter.
According to Shelton, several months ago, a family of squatters broke into his mother's vacant home and began living there. He and his dad had recently passed, and they put the home up for rent since his mother could not live there alone. A woman who told Shelton she was a prison guard asked to rent the home, but he refused as she said she had no money or credit. That did not appear to stop her, however, as he later learned a truckload of belongings had been brought to the home. She said that it was delivered by accident and she was getting rid of it, Shelton said. Well, that was a lie, as Shelton later found out from friends and realtors that the house was full of people and furniture. He called the police.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
He called the police and received an unhelpful answer. He said they basically said, I'm sorry, but we can't enter the house, and it looks like they're living there, so you need to go through the courts. In his caption, he said that he was familiar with squatters' rights stories, and he didn't know that he would have to deal with the situation personally. He said, I had heard horror stories. how the legal system gives squatters more rights than the homeowner. So I decided to come up with my own way to get them out in less than a day. Upon doing more research, he said he learned just how long it could take to go through the courts and evict squatters. Fed up with the situation. By the way, he doesn't live in Northern California where the home is, so he packed up his car, he drove to the property, he decided he would write up a lease and credit himself as the resident of the home. He then parked his Jeep on the street where the home was and sat with his guns and his dog and waited for hours until everyone left. After they all left, he went in using keys that he had and walked around the home and began installing security cameras. And he was working outside. Two women walked up and approached him. And one of the women said, "I'm really sorry about all this. It's a nightmare and beyond." He calmly and coolly told the woman that they had mere hours to get everything out. He disguised their faces with a black and white filter and a clip he posted. And they ended up leaving.
Yeah,
and he got the place back. But he does not suggest that you do that.
No, it could end badly.
And that's what he said. He's like, "Look, I felt confident in doing this myself, but it's probably better to do it the other way."
Right.
But
squat on the squatters.
He felt that he had the know-how to go about it. But he managed to become successful.
Yeah, the old double squat.
All right, listen to this story. In Tennessee, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has stopped posting mugshots, a move that Sheriff John Fusen said was influenced by his own family experience. So, wait to hear. So this guy was posting mugshots in the paper. And,
right.
He said, "I've heard from citizens who have shared their stories and concerns with this practice and how it has and continues to negatively impact them and their families. The controversy here is not so much about the decision to stop posting booking photos, but the timing of the decision. Many are claiming that Sheriff Fusen made his decision because a member of his own family is about to face a potential criminal charge and receive a booking photo."
Let's think about this.
A news channel talked to the sheriff and asked him if that was true. He said, "Anybody can be accused of anything at any time. My daughter has not been arrested." But the sheriff did not deny that his daughter is under investigation and could be facing legal trouble. And he said that possibility did help to influence his decision to pull the mugshot feature from the sheriff's website.
Well, at least he sort of admitted it.
He said, "If you had that perspective, if your child, your mother, or your uncle or aunt was being accused of something and an investigation ensues, what would you do to protect that person? I know that a normal person would do anything in their power to do." The special agents investigating are investigating the actions of Sarah Fusen. They said it is in relation to a reported instance of suspected child abuse that occurred at her place of employment, a daycare center.
Wow.
The sheriff said he's been considering pulling the mugshots for quite some time. Yeah. Come on, man.
I've been rethinking this.
Hindsight's all 20/20, man. Until you get in a position where you have to experience something for yourself sometimes. That's why you need to step outside the box from time to time, folks. All right, and then we'll end with one more story. How about let's go with this one. 2 tigers that escaped from a West Georgia zoo after a tornado on Sunday have been recaptured. So tigers got out.
Imagine a tornado that has tigers in it.
Yes. Officials said they
worse than
received
Sharknado.
A report that a tiger was unaccounted for at the Pine Mountain Animal Safari Park after a confirmed tornado tore through Troup County.
Tornado! Tornado!
Officials said one tiger stayed inside the enclosure and the other stayed very close to the enclosure, and it was tranquilized and moved back into the enclosure. The tornado downed trees, damaged buildings, and left people trapped in their homes on Sunday morning. It's unclear how many people were injured in the storms. The park has not provided comment online regarding the tigers.
Could you imagine that?
No,
Georgia
I
tigers?
Cannot imagine that. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away a pair of passes to join some of the Preston and Steve show in a suite tonight at the Flyers game.
Yes! Oh,
yeah. It's Pearl Jam night. And we'll take caller number 25 at 215-263 WMMR. It's at the Wells Fargo Center, obviously, but they're doing a special tonight to commemorate 10 sellout shows in Philadelphia. The 10 Club is putting this on, by the way, in conjunction with the Flyers. Every ticket purchased, by the way, on the special ticket package page at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com includes a commemorative Flyers Pearl Jam Gritman Stickman t-shirt, which I am wearing right now.
Yes.
I had to because I spilled coffee all over my other Flyers shirt.
It looks good.
And access to the pregame tribute performance by the Lead Betters. So caller number 25, 215-263 WMMR. By the way, yes, Nick?
Well, the Ledbetters are going to go on around 5:30, so you want to show up early to see those guys. I've seen them before. If you're a Pearl Jam fan, Ledbetters are fantastic. Huge fans of the Preston and Steve show, big fans of MMR. So if you want to go see the Ledbetters, make sure you get there early.
All right. And I'm not going to be able to go tonight. And I tell you what, let's take a break and I'll come back and I'll explain why.
Yes.
Because it's going to impact the rest of the week. So we're going to come back in a moment. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a second.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, want to hang out? So I think Kathy's on the bench next.
Yes, yeah. Well, Robert,
we got to have a complete reach right here.
Robert has it's a good thing, and because you're reticent to think of a friendship in terms of like the same dynamics that would be in a marriage, but there's very similar things going on, correct?
Exactly the same, and it's the same when they have kids. These are the kids, right? In the room, because they'll throw things and they'll test the parents. So Kathy will go on your side and say, well, he's a douche or whatever. And they will just wind it up because, A, they're fun. They've been with you guys for a long time. Yeah. But friendship is about communication, just like marriage.
Yes.
About trust, communication. And if you have something to say, you should actually say it to each other, not in front of other people.
Right.
And don't say anything when you're angry. Write it down, put it under somewhere, go away, calm down, then pull it out. And if you still feel the same as what you wrote on that piece of paper, then confront it when you're calmer.
What makes you an expert? Your years as a chef?
Life.
Did you feel a certain weirdness, Preston, after that?
Well, yeah, I brought it on myself because I thought more about what he said, and then I started to, I clammed up. I also have been kind of coming down on myself a little bit about being aware of how I interact with other people and the things that I say, and I want to be more cautious about it. I don't think I'm an outright jerk to people, but sometimes I'll say something and forget that it's just my opinion and that, it's not necessarily the right opinion.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of watch it, except for bitches like Kathy.
Oh, my God. I think I agree with you on that.
Everyone has an opinion, and don't change the way you are. That's what makes you you are.
I mean, if there's something that can bring us all together.
Yes.
Right.
It's our hatred for Kathy.
Right.
I just can't believe this is happening. And this is like really, you guys are
See,
being
Kathy,
serious.
what you didn't realize, it's all about you, not these guys.
We've both tried Chobani. We've both tried the Oikos.
And I just brought another one. Actually, they didn't. Marissa did. I just brought one just for you to try.
Stonyfield.
Yeah, I just thought you can try something different.
Are you saying that this is perhaps a yogurt they can both love together?
Yes, and I want them to interlock arms when you do this. There you go.
Like this.
It's beautiful. And so the healing begins.
What do you think about
No. Yeah, look, we agree.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy.
I noticed a few things.
I
did.
Down a dark alley, across a field. Look over there. He does. He's Preston Elliott, the noticer. Noticing so you don't have to. And yes, this is probably a lot like the junk drawer.
Yeah.
But just a different introduction.
Cuddling a kitten.
Cuddling a kitten?
Yes. Makes you feel better, but it could be dangerous to your health. Doctors from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the U.S. conducted a large-scale survey of the cat-borne bacterial disease cat scratch fever.
Oh. Yes.
Which is legit. The doctors have warned that hands should always be washed after touching cats and to avoid kissing felines where possible.
Sorry. Make out with them all the time. In fact, I brush my teeth with their tails.
The disease is spread when you are scratched by an infected cat, hence cat scratch fever, or when you don't wash your hands and touch your mouth after stroking an infected cat.
You have to be careful of anything like that, And
well, we're talking about people kissing their chickens.
Kissing your goddamn chicken.
And getting salmonella.
Yeah. I'll kiss a kitten before I kiss a chicken, and yes, that's on my bumper sticker. I kiss chickens and I vote. I will not be overlooked.
We need to have those made.
Cat owners should also be careful about their animals' interaction with stray cats where possible. However, the disease is relatively rare, where the survey finding that annual incidence was...
Survey says...
come on, man.
Give him a break.
I'm just,
I'm just a kitten-loving man.
One of those days. All right, so anyhow, they found that an annual incidence was 4.5 outpatient diagnosed...
Chicken kisser! Number one answer on the board. Chicken kisser.
The noticer.
With that.
He's ended his noticing for today, but the noticing will go on the Preston and Steve Show.
I have a chance. I knew it. This is pretty cool. Jared Leto has signed on to star in a new biopic about Andy Warhol.
That's pretty wild.
And so he'll play Andy Warhol. I think he'll be great as Andy Warhol.
Andy! Was that good?
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like
Andy! Terrence Winter will pen the script based on the 1989 book Warhol, the biography.
Do you find him at all interesting?
Yeah.
Of that time and
I
what he
do.
represents, I do as well.
And just what an oddball, strange guy he was, and the fact that he created such a sensation with his artwork. So
he also created the game Spud.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that.
No way.
Yeah,
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Out of boardom? Like,
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Okay. Wait, how do you play Spud again? I was thinking of Chink.
Excuse me?
Racist. Oh, there's a game.
Yeah,
called
okay.
Chink.
I'm sorry, Casey. You're late for your Klan rally.
You've never heard of the game?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what's
have.
Spud?
Spud, we always used to use a flat ball, like a ball. That wasn't fully.
Yeah, we did too. What
right?
the hell was the point of that?
It was invented by Andy Warhol.
His
when
wrists
you had
were weak.
when you had a ball that you couldn't play foursquare with or something like that, and you had to find something else to do with it, and so you played, Spud.
Man, I loved that game.
Spud was a lot of fun.
I forgot how you did it.
You throw it
in the
up.
air.
You picked a
Everyone
category.
runs, right?
Yeah, but you had to have a category.
Right, and then you spell out as you move towards the person you're going to throw the ball at, right?
Well, yeah, but there was like an it person, right? Who had
Somebody's
the ball.
always it.
Wait a
And
second.
you picked a category. Say the category was colors, and everybody behind you had their color. So I would say I was the person. I would throw it up.
That's it.
And
they'd
I'd
have
yell,
to run and catch it.
I'd yell red, and if Steve was red, everybody else would take off. Steve would have to go get the ball.
And then it turns into kind of dodgeball after that, right?
Yeah, because you have to get closer to the person that you want to hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Something along those-
actually a fun game.
I'll have to look up
because
the,
what happens on the throwing process is everyone runs in different directions, but if your name is called as you're running, you realize it's you or your color.
Yeah, and you got to go back and get
and
it.
then you got to run back.
I feel like I've missed out on my childhood.
It was awesome.
I've never played this game.
And I never knew Andy Warhol invented it.
Yeah.
Well, he was a color guy, right?
He was very much about.
Totally,
Doesn't
yeah.
have to be colors though. It can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be all kinds of categories.
Campbell's soup.
So anyhow, I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. But
He's just kind of the last person you'd figure would have been Spud.
oh my God, I've got to quit snorting, man. I am doing that way too often.
You snorted on the golf course yesterday.
I can't help it. It's after a long wheezy laugh, and then I have to inhale, and somehow or another my nose gets involved. I can't help it. Casey brought these into the studio. I have 3 ink pens. They're Bic, just your standard, office ink pen, cheapies.
One might find in any drawer.
Yeah, and these have been mutilated.
What happened?
Clearly, someone has been chewing on these pens.
Well, wait a second. They're kept in this studio, correct?
No. He got these from the what's the number studio next door?
4F.
4F.
Yeah.
In Studio 4F, which is the main MMR studio. And these pens are absolutely mutilated by how badly they've been chewed on.
So who do you figure is the greatest perpetrator, or the most
I know
likely
exactly who it is.
perpetrator?
You know who it is?
Yes, that pen looks extremely familiar to me.
Oh.
Who is it?
It's Matt Cord.
That's what I
Matt Cord.
He used to do that with. I used to him and I used to get. I would basically make fun of him because he would do that to all the pens at the Sixers games. He would use a red and a blue pen, and he would
Chew the F out of
He
them?
would chew the F out of the top of it. And
Matt's got some major teeth.
I always used to be like, ew, that's so gross.
We have a point of contention up on the phones here, Preston.
Uh-oh.
There may be
okay,
there
all
may
right.
be a false accusation.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Pancake's on the line. Pierre's producer. Hey, Pancake.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. So you have a theory on the chewed pens?
Yeah, so I think that it's Jackie.
See, Jackie blames Matt Cord.
Well, because Matt Cord uses different pens. Matt Cord has
That's true.
special
He has
Matt
special
Cord has
pens.
special
He
DJ
does.
pens.
He does. Now, Pancake's right. He has the blue and the red pen that he uses for everything.
All right, well, Pancake, I don't know. You still thinking it's Jackie?
I think it's Jackie. I'm not sure, but we actually call it the pen fan, and we ordered a box of 50 pens because we were getting 2 and 3 at a time.
Wow.
You call it the pen what?
The pen famine.
The pen famine.
Oh, pen famine.
The great pen famine.
The great pen famine,
16, yeah.
All right, Matt's on the line. Hey, Matt.
I don't chew pens.
You don't chew pens ever?
No, I treat I use Papermate, Flare, blue and red. I treat them like gold.
You put that cap in your mouth. Do not say you don't.
Well,
But I never chew it. No, I don't. The chewer's Jackie. Come on.
All right.
So Matt's vehemently, no, definitely not.
He says
Okay.
Jackie is the
Thank
chewer.
you, Matt. Okay. All right.
So it's not Pierre and it's not Matt Cord.
Should we bring in an expert to note the teeth markings and do a DNA test?
That's
on
exactly what I was thinking. Because you have a set number of people who are using that air studio. You can get DNA swabs.
Yep.
And then get samples from all of the jocks, and you could nail this down in no time.
Do you want me to go to Jackie Bam Bam's secret hiding spot and see how many pens he has there?
And see if there's any chewed up ones.
Hang on. Oh.
Casey.
Can I come with you? I want to see where it is.
Can you divulge that
I'm
to
going
her?
with him.
Case?
Look at how thrilled they are to do this.
I know. All right, hold on a second.
This is what it's come to.
I might have to leave.
Right.
Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be able to do the show tomorrow or not, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up because we're on vacation next week, and then all of a sudden, if you're hearing these best of shows for a lengthy period of time, I thought you might need to know about it. So it's been a tough year in my family, and my mom was diagnosed last year with dementia, and we had to place her in a nursing home, and that's been very difficult. She lives in Florida, and my sister is there. But on the other side of things, so my parents had divorced years ago, and so my dad lives in Lexington, Kentucky, and now we're fearing that the same thing might be happening to him. They're both 85 years old. And so, so much so that my wife is there now and is keeping an eye on him, and things have progressed alarmingly quickly. And it's very, very difficult, and it's very confusing. And for those of you who have have gone through aging parents and issues that come with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I am learning what you already know, that it's really, really hard and very confusing and extremely complex in certain situations. And so we're trying to figure out how, and we're doing this at, they're halfway across the country.
Yeah.
And so that's very, very hard.
10 times worse.
So I have step siblings that are there, but their mother, my stepmother, she had a stroke last year, of which my dad was caring for her. She also had a fall down the stairs.
And he was the caregiver.
And so things have gotten really bad as of late. So we are scrambling to figure out what the hell to do. And there's things that I've never really had to deal with before, like power of attorney and elder lawyers and advocates and psych evaluations and all this other stuff that there's you're not really prepared for.
No.
And I'm not a super responsible person. Fortunately, my wife is, but she has kind of hit her breaking point. So I need to get there very soon. So I'm probably going to be off the rest of the week. Maybe can do the show tomorrow. I don't know, but I've got to find a flight, or we got to figure out. And the plan is maybe to bring him here, and then we don't know what to do with him when we bring him here. And can we even get him here and convince him to come with us? It's crazy, man. It's wild. It's a whole bag of issues that I never really thought about. And I try to watch YouTube videos and things like that and get some ideas, and all you get are vagaries, and it's just a really, really difficult time.
Yeah, it's been I think it's a mortal fear of a lot of people of making decisions like this, and But I said to you, Preston, you were wondering about talking about it, and I said this resonates. I guarantee you, there are thousands and thousands of people listening to this right now who are dealing with the same thing.
Sure.
And you end up, as you said, you don't know what to do, and you feel like I must be an idiot. I don't understand how people hash their way through this.
I don't know.
And the truth of the matter is that you know when you learn that there are other people who are throwing up their hands, because there's so many things involved in this that you're uncertain of. And so, you're kind of left to make snap decisions without really a lot of info on where things are going to be going.
Yeah, and like Rochelle and I are on the phone, we're like, who do we even talk to?
Right.
Like, where do we go and say, can you help me with this, please?
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing. And I know there are advocates and so on, but I started doing some reaching out yesterday and didn't get some callbacks. And I'm like, okay, this has to happen now.
Yeah.
Like right now.
It's amazing what you can get prepared for in life and take accounting classes or learn how to, navigate, but nobody really teaches you how to prepare for death or a dying parent. And it's everybody's going to struggle with it at some point, one way or another. We're all only here for a short amount of time. So when you then have to deal with it, most of us don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And don't know how to wrap our minds around it.
Dude, and money.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The costs involved are astronomical.
Oh, my God. If you have never looked into the amounts of what it takes to care for someone, it is astronomical. How people, thank God for things like, Medicaid, which is still... You get minimal assistance, but you get some if you absolutely need it. But going through the steps to get it is a logistical nightmare. It's crazy, man.
So you're
crazy.
You're going to try to bring your dad back here, which presents a whole bunch of
think
problems.
so, yeah.
And how do you transport someone who perhaps does not want to be transported?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you might have to drive.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, we're not
you couldn't
flying.
put on a plane.
We're not
Too
flying.
risky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's listen, I know you have to do what you have to do, but that's so sad. Then he's separating from his wife.
I know. And I only just thought about that, too.
Well, you also...
And I have to position it in a way that we're just going to do this
for
we'll
now
get you back to
until
her.
you get better.
Yeah.
And then we have to deal, if she ends up needing housing and sell the house and the property and
But don't worry about that
all
now.
that stuff. I know.
Deal with,
I know.
you have to just worry about the current situation. We had to separate
God, it's a lot.
We had to separate my grandparents, but fortunately they were just a few towns away, so we could bring them back together when one was asking for the other. But my grandfather sort of went through similar to what you're going through and got very, got very upset when he had to go through the hospital and things like that. He ended up ripping his ventilator out and said, "I don't need this."
Yeah, so we're dealing with that right now.
Yeah.
You may be listening and think, oh, there he goes again. He doesn't remember that I talked to him.
Yeah.
No, it's I wouldn't say violent, but it could get there.
Right.
And combative and nasty. And so that's, how do you deal with that?
But you don't know. You said he had been going through there was an infection perhaps or something. There was some...
Pneumonia.
A pneumonia. So,
yeah.
And that could have... It could be a short-term response, or is your instinct that it is a longer...
It seems like
more profound.
It's been coming along. The weird thing that I found out about with my mom, and I'm sorry to lump all this heavy stuff on everybody listening right now, but was we found out that you can't just go to the doctor and sit somebody down and have them take a few questionnaires and take a look at them and go, okay, you have dementia.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not. It's like it's a case study.
Right.
And dementia is not in this one little package. It's a series of things and conditions, and then eventually they go, okay, yeah, this is, now there might be different kinds of it, like Bruce Willis has that frontotemporal lobe dementia,
right.
or and then Alzheimer's is a whole other bag of issues. So it's really confusing, and we're sitting here going, well, why can't you just tell us anything, to the medical staff? We're not saying it that way,
right.
but that's what we're thinking. And then what do you do? And it's there's a lot of mystery into this whole thing. And yes, and infections and things like that. So what we found out with my mom, I had no idea this was the case, but UTI, urinary tract infections, can make elderly people crazy.
Oh, they can be wicked.
And just
from a UTI.
Yeah, from like hallucinations
Really?
and breaks from reality. I did not know that.
So is it your understanding that if said UTI clears up, that someone could ostensibly return to their normal self?
Not normal self. If they are, it depends. So if there are
And
experiencing
I know you're
dementia,
not- yeah.
the dementia's still going to be there.
Right.
But they can go off into a really deep form of it if
Okay.
they have an infection like a UTI or. But I think maybe if someone is of sound mind, it can also make them a little loopy and weird too. So hang on a second. Let me go to Rachel, who is a nurse coordinator. Hi, Rachel. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I've been better, but what's up, Rach?
I wish I was calling to win a prize right now, but what you're speaking about, I work with day in and day out with patients and more specifically families in the region. And I can't thank you enough for talking about it and bringing it to the attention. I know it's uncomfortable, it's sad, it's crazy, but it's so valuable because these conversations happen too late. And what I tell patients and also my own family is let's talk about it now. Let's find out what your wishes are, what your finances are, who you want to make decisions, because in the reality of the moment, it's so overwhelming.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I urge you right now to consider, in order to bring your dad back to Pennsylvania, there are I know you're probably swarmed with information, but consider things like his doctors in Kentucky, his medications. Depending on his insurance, Medicare is a national product. Medicaid is state to state.
Right.
There's also a lot of private insurances. And often I deal with families who do make the decisions to bring their patients back to the region, and then they're stuck not having access to care.
Yeah. Well, I can answer that. So he's already run off his doctor, like ran him off. Like the doctor is not going to see him anymore.
What? Because really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
They can
I
do
know.
that?
Yeah, I guess so. So now he has an appointment with a new doctor. He has no doctor right now.
Oh my God.
So we need to find out.
We tend to think, okay, Hippocratic oath, you're going to stay through thick and
Do no
thin.
harm.
Yeah, right.
Do no harm. I mean, when you run off, you're doing harm. Are you not?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you can. I believe it's 30 days that you can effectively fire a patient from a practice, but need to give a 30-day warning.
Okay. Well, yeah, my dad was extremely rude and combative, so he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see him
I'm sorry
anymore.
about that. But I just, on behalf of the nurses and social workers that are working day to day regarding this, thank you. And I know that your program, and I appreciate it not being political, but people really should look into when they're voting. There's not a lot of money for long-term care for our aging and elderly in the country, and it's so important to.
I'm finding that out. Yep. We found that out when my mom was when we were looking for long-term care for my mom. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you. I just
All
wanted
right.
to express my gratitude.
Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. But so the thing about bringing him here is, there's nobody to look after him, to talk to the carers, the people that are going to be helping him out, because his wife is not able to do it with the stroke and a fall. My step siblings are taking care of her.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're forced into this position.
Well, there's nobody yet. I mean, for every problem, there's usually a solution. And if you start digging, and I am hopeful and optimistic that if you're able to get him back here, you'll be able to find care that suits him. And right now, you're in the thick of it, and it's overwhelming and exhausting, and I'm sure it's beating the crap out of you. However, and as trite and as commonplace as this is, you have to take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. I mean, and every little step that you take will hopefully help you get a little bit closer to a solution.
And I know what she means about not bringing them out. You want people to be familiar with their surroundings, or else they get confused and upset, and it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So, but our hands are tied, So.
It's nightmarish, on that level. But I agree with what Nick's saying. And then, you sort of compartmentalize and just knock through what you have to knock through. But I mean, it throws to that point of dealing with these things that you don't want to, like a will or like all those things that are looming and that you say, and I get it. And I'm just as bad because you're like, I don't know. I want to think about that and all that stuff. But in the moments where I've seen people who've had the forethought to put something together, it does make a difference because
my
at
God,
least
yes.
you know the person who is not in their right mind has already pre-laid out how they want things to progress, and you're going to honor that. You're not left with that right now.
This has motivated me. So we have somebody that guides us in our in our financial world. As we went to, and I'm like, okay, we need to talk about if I ever end up we ever end up in this situation, how we start handling that now.
Yeah.
Right now. Investing for it, preparing for it, setting aside for it, and getting ready for it so I don't stick my children with this responsibility. They'll always have some responsibility, but I don't want the lion's share of it going in their lap. So, so things like this can help, maybe get our own tracks in order so we don't have to
pass it along,
lay that on to somebody else. So, and I'm not blaming my parents or anything that for leaving this on us, but it's just, oh, yeah. By the way, Rachel, the woman who called in a little while ago, she wished she was calling in to win something. If she'd get back in touch with us, we'll give you some Phillies tickets.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be nice? To the Marlins game on Monday.
And if you're single, we'll hook you up with Gary Lauer.
Oh, my God.
Oh, hey.
Is he... oh, who wouldn't want that?
That's a hot dog.
I have some other calls. You guys want to keep talking about this? You want to move on to something else?
Listen, no. And if it gives you solace, we're all for it.
All right, let me go to Katie. Hi, Katie. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Katie?
Preston, I feel your pain. I'm going through the exact same thing right now with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
who's 93 years young. Back in November, she had a really bad UTI that caused her bad hallucinations that we were beating her. It was terrible. She was in the hospital for a week during Thanksgiving. She came home. Now she's living with my sister, has full-on dementia. The three of us take care of her full time.
Yeah.
My father also went through it. He was put in a nursing home by his wife. He was not, my parents divorced early, 25 years ago, long time ago. We couldn't do much to help him, but we did the best we could going to Pittsburgh every time we could. He ended up passing away before we were able to bring him back to Jersey to care for him ourselves.
Yeah, and it's full-time job, right?
It's a full-time job. My mom lives with my sister. My brother and I go and take care of her every time that we possibly can. And it's hard, but it's your mother. It's our turn to take care of them.
Yeah. They say, once an adult, twice a child is kind of what the saying is.
That's the way my mother is. She's like a little child.
Yep.
She is lost oftentimes in her brain. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know what she... But we love her and take care of her, and we have patience with her because she deserves that respect.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things you have to...
Thank you, Katie.
You have to do, so in my family, I have a situation I advise. It will wear you down. You have to look out for yourself as well, and not to make it sound selfish, but also make sure that you're monitoring yourself as you put up, as you deal with all this. Obviously, you love your parents. It's part of the deal. You're going to do it, but you're no good to anybody if you're not making sure that you're taking those moments where you can take a rest or pass it to someone else and back and forth, because you don't serve the greater good if you take yourself out because you've run yourself so down.
So we're not sure. I don't think we can. I don't think that he can live in our home if he is being combative or wandering, which is what he does. It's almost like a sundowners type of thing.
Okay,
where at night things start to get a little funky. But for example, his older brother wandered out of the house, went down the road in the middle of the night, and froze to death. So we don't want that to happen.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, exactly. He was found lying on the side of the road in his pajamas and died that way.
How old was he?
That can happen. He was in his mid-80s as well. He's in similar age. So
maybe like a night nurse or somebody that comes in at night. You know what? If you have him in the house for a little while.
I don't know. Or somewhere, a home.
Yeah.
Where they monitor constantly, all that stuff. So I will go to, we have Amy, who is a social worker at a hospital. Hi, Amy. Good morning.
Hi, it's Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. Sorry. Hi, Jamie.
Yeah. Hi. I am calling. I just wanted to say I am so sorry that you are going through this. but I am so grateful that you are putting it out there, because as a hospital social worker, I have so many patients that don't have anybody and did not prepare for the future and end up sometimes becoming needing a state guardian and that type of thing. So it's really important to have everyone be aware of it and have the difficult conversations.
Yeah. There are people that end up just lost, that end up just a ward of the state, and it's heartbreaking. Amy, any idea like when someone should start, at what age you should start thinking about things like this?
In my opinion, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
A lot of times I've seen people have seen something happen, and then that's when they start to prepare. But that's taking a risk, because you may not have your mind, you may not be alert and oriented and have the capacity to create those needed documents.
Right.
So even 40, and my husband and I talk about how we need to get our power of attorney, our living will, our advance directive, everything situated, just because of what I see every day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really uncomfortable stuff. You talk about some very frank, no holds barred conversations about some very final things.
Do you know,
and it's tough to have, but it's so important to be ready for it.
Go ahead.
The other thing I've noticed too is that everyone says, "Oh, well, my husband knows what I want," or my wife knows what I want. And I said, well, if you have to put it down on paper, because you have to say who you want to make your decisions in the event that you cannot, and what exactly you want. Because if you don't want to be resuscitated, or if you don't want to be intubated, but you don't have that written down, then you're a full code, and your decision maker, your husband, wife, whatever, makes that decision.
And as I've found, you can also, you think, well, I have family around, I have friends around, and so on. But as you age, if you're lucky, you may be one of the final standing. And that's kind of the way it has happened. My dad has watched all of his family die. All of his family pass away, other than, the kids. And his friends have gone. And so he's run out. There's just us. That's it.
To what you're both saying, and Preston, when I talked about in the past, I've talked about prostate cancer, and I'm not going to make this a conga line of dour topics.
Right.
But the thing that I would say to people is that think about what you're going to. What will happen to the people around you? So you're talking about the impetus for putting together a will, or for doing preparations like this, about putting it to paper. And I'm just as guilty as anyone else to think about what it will mean to the people who have to deal with this. And you don't want to inflict that on anyone else. So by you taking the precautions, you can save them from doing that. It will mean a lot in the end.
Yeah, the minute that we had kids, we started we started drawing up documents.
Right.
And having a plan. And then you need to reassess that every, decade or so, and kind of make sure that your thoughts are still aligned. So, all right, Amy, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll probably, down the road, very soon, I might be asking for some serious help.
Anytime.
All right, thank you, Amy. Appreciate it.
Preston, have you spoken with your father about death? About it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I talked to him last time I was there. I went there a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, and he's fine with it.
Okay.
His rationale is it happens to all of us, and I'd be stupid to deny that it's ever going to happen. I don't, he doesn't dwell on it or anything like that. But he's like, this afternoon, it could happen. Here. I'm 85 years old, so.
My dad is unbelievably prepared, which is, I don't know if that's morbid or not, but there are statutes in his will where he's not allowed to be in Texas when he dies, and we have to get a helicopter and get him out of there.
Wait, what? Why?
Yeah. And
Tony Danza can't revive him.
No Tony Danza. Yesterday, he was like, Josh, when I croak, you can have my Subaru. And I was like, all right.
Wow.
And he used the word croak.
Preston.
That's a bunch of crap. You're the one who got him the deal.
Thank you.
Come on.
Josh needs a car. He was being generous.
Nick, to hear my dad is in his mid-90s, and he for years now he's been saying, "So I'm going to get this. It'll be the last one I own." And I'm like,
I know.
So I have as I said before, I have the benefit of he recorded a whole bunch of audio about his life and to leave to us. And at the end of that, recording, he says, "I've had a good life."
Oh my God,
that's great.
And just hearing that.
Yeah.
You're left with a situation here where you could use cogent dad to help guide you on how to take care of current dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't do these things because I feel like it just invites it. So like you're talking about like living wills and stuff. I'm like, dude, and I'm reluctant to do it because I feel like if I get all my ducks in a row, then I can be stricken down.
So let me, and I mean this lovingly, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb to think that way. Okay? And I mean that lovingly, dude.
I know.
Kate. Just preparing for it is not gonna cause it to happen. Okay, what?
Casey, it's been my experience that every time I prepared for something, like every time I've told you,
you end up not using it.
It doesn't happen, and I consider that a win.
Yeah. Snowblower.
Yeah. Snowblower. Generator.
No snow this year.
Right.
None.
None.
So I will take the
generator.
The generator. I bought a generator for Sandy.
Yeah.
Sandy was tearing the Jersey Shore apart. It was 83 degrees and sunny.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Sandy. And then now I have this, but and then once you do that, it's lifted off your. We're going through some things about arranging, as you talk about, Preston, the formidable cost of taking care of someone who's.
Oh my God.
In that,
dude, it's 6 figures.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
Over $100,000 a year, roughly.
Yeah.
It depends on the state. Depends on what kind of care you want. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your average person can't pay that.
No.
It's it's crazy. So, but there are programs that you can do that can help you invest now to get you ready for that. If that is an eventuality, and also a way, and we're finding out from our financial planner, to recoup that if you don't need it. I urge you, do it, Casey, do it. Get your will, get all this stuff, get it done now.
Don't
do it to your kids, man.
I'm a little stitious, not quite superstitious.
Little stitious?
Yeah.
Little stitious.
Yeah. Instead of super.
Yeah.
Medium stitious.
Medium stitious.
Okay.
And yeah.
Let me go to, hang on, Karen had some tips here. Hi, Karen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. I've been listening, as I always do, every morning for years and years. You guys are my family. Thank you for everything every morning.
Thank you.
I went through this with my husband, and I had went through this very similar to what's happening for years. Moved my mother-in-law in, who eventually went blind. So that was a fun tie the rope to the end of the bed to get it to the door so she could find her way to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Right.
But so in moving through this process for years, my husband and I, with our 2 kids, said we can't do this to them. It's like you had said. I mean, we're not even going to go through the emotions, but we found a program for us. We're setting ourselves up to have the care so our children don't have to do this.
Yeah.
So we found this wonderful long-term care program through Genworth, and they provide in-home care. I mean, it's like an insurance for yourself, so there's a payment. But I'm telling you, Preston, we are so pleased to be able to do this. If we have to go into assisted living, it's covered. If we have to go into a nursing home, if we have to have in-home daycare, if in 5 years, if someone falls and something happens, this policy gets triggered. Yeah. It's just a wonderful thing to do for your children, so they don't have to feel. I'm not going to get upset. What we go through.
Yeah,
as adults.
Yeah, no,
So
I
this is
agree.
Preparation, yeah.
And there are so we're in we're getting involved in something similar too, and something besides aging can happen where
absolutely
you need
assistance.
You will see young people in nursing homes because they need care all the time, so it can happen, and you need to be prepared for that.
So I'll send you an email with our little document. Just if you don't have anything, it's just a flyer, but it's a wonderful program. To be able to set yourself up for the future.
All right. Thank you
All
very
right,
much,
good luck
Ken.
with everything.
I appreciate it.
I just found out that I have some long-term insurance at long-term care insurance at my wife. Hey, thanks, hon. You're always looking out for me.
Well, we've seen it happen in our lives around, again, and we've done a lot, and there's still more that we can do.
Yeah.
So again, we don't have kids but the last thing I don't want to think of my cat in a suit in a court having to deal with all this.
No.
But there's so many different scenarios that you haven't thought of that can happen with your loved ones where they're going to need to do this, and you become the point person that have to help out. Like with my mom, we saw this. I saw this happening in increments, and my sister and her lived together for decades, and I kept kind of telling her, I'm like, I don't think you can do this anymore.
Right,
I think we need to take the next step.
And they don't want to hear that.
And it kept being like, well, if I can just blah, 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 if we can just have this happen, it'll be. And eventually it came down to an evening where it was like insanely emotional, sobbing. I can't, I give in. And we had to, and it was a breaking point moment. And so, you can kind of put it off for a while, but there is an eventuality sometimes that you need to be preparing for, even if you don't use it. So I sound like, listen to me, I sound like the one like I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't know. We are lost right now on where the next few steps are. But my wife is at the hospital in Kentucky and is talking to a social worker today to help point us in the right direction. But it's going to be scatterbrained for a while.
You have to figure out what you don't know first, and then you can figure out what you need to know. I mean, there's an entire world of things out there that you're learning about in the process, and so give yourself a break. And Steve's 100% right. You have to take care of yourself in this process.
Yeah, that's going to be later. But right now we have some pressing things that have to happen now.
Yeah.
And by now that means over the next, month or whatever it may be. So I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm not going to be at the game tonight.
You do what you need to do. We will we'll do what we need to do and take care of everything. But I mean, the family comes first, and this is a maelstrom of stuff you're dealing with. And I know that our support. Look, listen, the family of listeners and people that are part of, as we just heard, from different callers. You've got a lot of support. Take care of what you need to take care of.
All right. I thank you. Apologize for the heaviness. I appreciate your calls and so on. And how about a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We have.
That'll brighten it up.
Yeah, that'll pep you up, right? We have gift cards to give away for Jersey Mike's, a $50 gift card. Caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. By the way, tomorrow, 100% of the proceeds go to Alex's Lemonade Stand for their month of giving. We're going to come back from, we need some positive stuff. So from Ted Lasso, one of the greatest shows ever, we're going to have Kola Bokinni on with us. Stay with us.
On 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
That's just from Jackie's hiding
Here's
hole.
the chewed up ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These are all chewed up ones.
Wow.
17.
Wow.
18.
We might have a culprit here.
This one has teeth marks on it too. 19. The other ones look clean.
So about almost half of the pens?
19 chewed up pens.
I think I need to apologize to Matt Cord.
Yeah,
I think so.
Sorry.
Are we going to go by the people versus he who smelt it dealt it?
Or people in glass houses, or Jacques.
I'm going with the Queef Club.
Jackie Hughes.
Queef Club!
Yes.
Queef Club!
Nobody's implicated Marcus in this.
Oh.
No.
You don't think so? He did the overnights last night.
But listen, maybe Jackie may have just stolen these chewed up pens and taken them and
It's
put
quite
it in
possible.
his stash. I mean, it's like you never know until you hear the other
He
side of it.
rescued them.
Why steal chewed up pens? Why I would steal. And if I wasn't the pen chewer, I wouldn't.
Maybe
want...
he's got a problem. Oh, wait a minute. Bam Bam's on the line.
Bam Bam!
Hey, Bam Bam.
I'm like the sixth person of the Preston and Steve show. This is getting to be a good habit here.
It is. It is a good habit.
Jackie, I need to ask you a question. So, have you complained that there are chewed up pens in the studio and that Matt Cord may be the culprit?
No, I never complain about them because I put the pens in my mouth. When you smoke cigarettes and all, you need something in your mouth. You get a little nervous. I don't chew them, but I'll be honest with you. I put a couple in my mouth. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So okay, Casey, I thought you said
he's not being totally forthcoming.
Well, he just woke up.
Matt Cord doesn't have a problem with pens. Matt Cord has a problem with toothpicks. Not never.
All right, we've heard about Matt Cord's toothpicks problem. We've heard that someone has a foot powder issue. We've heard, but this chewed pen thing. Now we have actually found your super hidden stash of pens, and at least
great.
half
I
of
won't
them.
have anything to write with tonight when I get there. That's my.
Don't worry, there's 1,000 pens and markers up there.
You'll
Jack.
have plenty to
You're
write.
good. We'll put them back.
You better put them back, Casey.
Not to
Well,
mention
listen.
the 3 dozen pens you have in your briefcase.
No. I can never find a pen. That's where they're hidden because there's never nothing to write with.
You can't find them because they're all up there.
Jackie, there's 50 of them here, and 20 of them are chewed on.
Well, I'm not going to say I chewed them, but I do say I hide them all.
All right, so if you put them in your mouth, are you sure that at any point in time you don't give a quick little nibble?
Maybe I do, yeah.
Jackie.
Yes.
You just gave yourself a one-way ticket to the penitentiary.
By the way, somebody texted in and said, Cord was just a red herring. It was Bam Bam in 4F with the big pen.
Yes. What about all the panties with skid marks in Kathy's garbage can?
Those are mine.
Oh, those are yours?
Yeah.
All right.
We have. All right, anyhow.
Well, she immediately fessed up.
But I think we solved something.
We did.
I know. I'm pretty happy that
good.
we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Very rare that we actually do. So
Teamwork.
That was
Well,
cool.
we have to talk to HR now. See what they're going to do.
Bert Kreischer is still here, the machine, the conqueror himself, who will be at Helium Comedy Club today, tonight, and then through the weekend.
Until the autopsy.
Until the autopsy takes place. He's got his bottle of Fireball.
There's no surprise ending for this one night.
Been enjoying this morning.
Just blackout.
Our other guest we love having here anytime he can. There's a very cool party coming up. Some of us have been to it before, and it's for a great cause. For a great cause.
Santa Claus.
You can do it.
Oh, one of those things.
God.
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Good to see you this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
All right. So, yeah, Bert, I know, was just a huge fan, and he wanted to stick around.
It's so cool meeting you.
Thank you, man.
You've given me so much enjoyment. Do you ever think that? Like, how you've, okay, we were sharing this, and I didn't want to talk about this on air because it may come out.
Tell the story that you were telling us. It's absolutely fine.
I saw Sixth Sense at a black movie theater.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was the coolest experience because it really brought me together with black dudes. Like, as soon as he goes back and he sees the blood, I realized it with every black dude. And I hear the guy behind me like, oh, dude's dead. Dude's dead. And then I stand up like, dude's dead. Dude's dead. And we start hitting each other. We're all standing up in the movie theater. It was so, and then we sat in the lobby for an hour later breaking down the movie being like, yeah, thermostat drops. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, the mom, she was talking to herself. She was talking to herself. She was talking to herself.
Well, if I can bring people together, that's really
best moment.
ultimate.
That was the kid from New Kids on the Block. Shut up! Shut up!
That's the surprise.
Yeah. Last night, and I was just skimming through the channels. Yeah. So you had Unbreakable.
Oh!
You had The Village.
The Village!
Hey, just a minute, Bert.
Calm down, Bert.
You had Unbreakable, The Village, Lady in the Water, and The Visit were all on
TV?
last night.
Wow.
Every single one of them. And is it because it's this time of year that maybe the cable companies say, all right.
How much money do you have?
I think as a new movie is coming out, as it's coming out, they try to play my movies again.
Okay.
So they feel there's more attention and people want to catch up on old movies they haven't seen and those kind of things. So as this new movie's coming out, they start playing the old.
I watched.
By the way, I have to say,
yes.
Whenever I tend to not go on radio shows, I've said this to you guys around the country because like the cowbells and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I always go, would Kubrick do this? And now as I'm sitting next to you in your underwear, I'm questioning my very
decision.
status.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of in high school when I was on the swim team, but this is the last time I think I've seen a male in a Speedo.
Get ready, a wave's coming. Do you underestimate your audiences sometimes in a movie or overestimate them and like they'll figure this out now? Like, how did you know we were going to figure it out then? That's what I can't understand. How did you know I was going to get it when he went, and I was like, how did you know I was going to stand up, grab a black dude by his dreadlocks and go, dude's dead? How did you know
I'm going to guess that part he did not know. But that there was
it's called the dreadlock moment.
Yes.
The technical term for it. And
someone better get a picture of me getting a shot with M. Night Shyamalan.
So what do we drink? What is this?
It's Fireball.
Oh yeah, if you guys are all drinking it, I'll definitely do it.
I'll take a picture.
See,
I'll
have a shot. Anybody who wants a shot, step forward. Now, unless we do this right now, we aren't able to do a shot before 9 a.m. because it's 8:58 a.m. and
we got to do this.
That we did shots before 9 a.m. You ready?
Yeah.
So,
cheers, everybody.
Kreischer, raise it up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, it is a pleasure meeting you, man. Thank you so much for what you do.
Here you go. Toast.
Guys, cheers.
Prost.
Cheers. All right, I got to go to the Helium Comedy Club and do a show now.
Yeah.
Hey,
what are you doing? What are you doing at noon?
Yeah.
Night,
I
by
got an
the
extra
way.
Speedo.
Bill Weston, man about town.
Oh, let's make a call.
Is he out in the hallway?
I don't know. But that's like the
He's dressed as Professor Snape.
It's a pretty good costume.
From Harry Potter. It actually is really good, but I can't believe that's Bill.
Bill Weston to the Air Studio. Bill Weston to the Air Studio.
There he is. There he is. He's here, man about town. Oh, my God.
He looks like Emo Phillips' brother. That's good, Bill. That's actually, you have a sort of Rickman-esque quality to you.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Get on the mic here, dude.
Professor.
Yeah. And
Yes.
do your best Snape impression.
I don't, somebody said, "What's his first name?" I said, "Snervius" or Severus or something.
Snervius.
What is it?
You got it.
Severus.
It is.
Mo.
What is it?
Severus.
Snervius.
Severus.
Snervius. We should have let him go all day.
Snervius. I'm Snervius Snape. I'm
nice to meet
his
you.
slowest brother. I gotta put. My teeth don't sit right.
Snervius Snape. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now are you snooing?
Do you have a wand? Did you get it?
No, I didn't do the wand.
We need to have a
when I went to we had a big Halloween party on Saturday
Oh,
night.
here.
you know.
I got a one.
Okay.
I got a one.
I know what he's getting.
I know what he's getting too.
Yeah.
It's probably what they threw out on the field of the Bills game.
Yes,
right?
Dildo.
That's great.
Hang on a second, Casey. We'll get your Snervius.
It's perfect for your
Yeah, I'm not going to hold on to that thing. I'm not. I'm not, because somebody's going to take a picture of it, and I'm not touching that thing.
Say Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviar Leviosa. Oh my God, that is just
That's
wrong.
great, Bill.
Do you want a black one instead or
No.
Was it a theme? Did
No,
you?
sorry, Marissa, you lost your opportunity.
Drumstick. There you go.
Thank you.
There's your
All right.
one.
Were you and the missus doing a Harry Potter?
Yeah, she
thing?
dressed up as
Hermione?
Maggie Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever that is.
Minerva.
Minerva.
Yeah, McGonagall.
Oh yeah. All right. So do you do you have a delivery? Do you know how he speaks?
No. Well,
Yeah. It's
I went
Alan
on,
Rickman.
I know. I
Yeah.
love Alan Rickman. I was talking to people about
His music makes me happy whenever I hear it, and it goes something like this. That's what you hear when you watch a new episode of Ted Lasso. Now in season 3, the final season, by the way. And we're excited to have a cast member, not just a cast member, damn it, his character is the captain of the team. Please welcome as Isaac McAdoo. This is Mr. Kola Bokinni. Kola, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's the afternoon here.
Oh, are you calling from London?
Yeah, I'm calling from London. It's just after 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
in London, yeah.
We did our show there one year. We did our morning show live from London, and we're like, I could get used to this afternoon thing here, which is nice. Hey, I want to confess something to you, Kola. And I've watched each season, the first 2 seasons, at least 4 times through because I was turning other people onto the show. But I haven't watched one episode of the new season yet. And I want to, like my co-host Steve here, I want to build up a few episodes because one is not enough. And I can't just.
Not enough.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Do you have mixed feelings about people who wait for a few of them to come out, or would you rather people just dive right in and start watching them?
You know what, yeah? I get bombarded with a lot of messages
people that are watching it week by week, so it doesn't really matter. But then I know in like maybe by the 5th episode, I'll probably start getting people being like, "Oh my God, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened." So I think I'm just gonna expect that to happen, you know.
All right.
It seems a natural thing. You know what's interesting, and I was reading about, and throughout the pandemic, Ted Lasso sort of became, not only just a great show to watch, but almost medicine, for for us in a way. And so, we're hearing this is the 3rd and final season, and we've all been proponents of the, make it a complete story and end on a high note. But I think we all have to be honest here. We're not sure we want to let it go after the end of the 3rd season. Where do you stand, having, obviously shot the episodes now?
I'm just really enjoying it. I'm just really, really excited and happy for everyone to be able to finally watch it and not have to ask questions of being like, oh, what can we expect from season this and this and that? The questions that I've had to ask 100 million times over. I'm just really like kind of, thankful that people get to watch it.
Right.
Listen, I'm thrilled to see Isaac expand as a character and become more to the forefront, because in that first season he was more of a back character, and then when he was, when he's named captain, you really stepped forward and had a chance to shine. So that had to have been awesome, and I'm excited to see what happens.
More and more.
Yeah.
He's getting more and more handsome every day.
He just gets more and more handsome.
Yes.
He's getting more charismatic and handsome, and he's getting a bit of money now. I'm joking. No, it's been a hell of a journey, and whatever happens in the future, I don't know anything.
Right.
See where Isaac goes. It's going to be beautiful to see.
Yeah.
You've seen him come from being not very smart and being a bully and probably a little bit insecure and to becoming a man. So and a damn charming and handsome one.
That's for sure.
The show examines characters' insecurities so well, which is wonderful. It's part of the things that makes it endearing. I think it's the greatest TV show ever made, personally, and that's I'm not just saying that.
You are too kind, sir.
And I know that you've heard reference to the hair cutting scene quite a bit, because I thought it was brilliant, fantastic. Because Steve, there was another scene that really touched you that you thought was emotional.
Well, it was the turnaround when you were reintroduced to your love of the sport, when you're playing basically a street match with other players, and you are reintroduced to just the basic love of football. Obviously, we call it soccer here, but that whole thing was just resonated so much that sometimes through life you need to remind yourself about what brings you joy and how it brings you joy, and you played it so beautifully. It was just great.
So when you grow up, become an adult, which I probably haven't yet. But you start to forget about the fun of everything and start worrying about the bottom line, about the dollar, about the money at the end of the day, and it starts becoming the thing that became fun and was a beautiful thing to you is now just a job, and that's what happened to Isaac. I think it's called the yips.
Yes.
You guys call it, right?
Yeah.
It's called the yips. Yeah. So that's what, sometimes we need just a little nudge to remember why we got into stuff in the first place.
No, it's brilliantly done. I was curious if you've seen any episodes of the reality show that Rob McElhenney, is a part of. Welcome to Wrexham. Have you seen any of those episodes? Because most everyone who sees it, they basically call it, real world Ted Lasso. Because it has, it's basically the same vibe, but it's this team. It reminds everyone. So you say you haven't seen any of it?
I'll check it out. I haven't seen none of it. No.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you have seen, and we were there last week. You were at Hogsmeade and Harry Potter section of Universal Orlando's resorts, because we were just all there broadcasting live last week. How fun was that?
Me and Cristo Fernandez, who plays Danny Rojas.
Yeah.
basically we did Access Hollywood, and then they were like, "Do you guys want to go to the park?" I'm like, "Yes." Yes. And I was waiting all day just so I can go to Harry Potter World. I went on the Hogwarts Express. I went to Hogsmeade. I went to the
Diagon Alley.
Hogwarts. I rode on all the Diagon. Yeah, everywhere. I got a wand. I got Snape's actual wand. I chose that one in the first place. I chose that one. I was gonna choose Ron's, but his one was a bit broken. So.
Yeah, true.
Now, did you ride the Velocicoaster, which blew us away?
Yes, I did. That is probably one of the fastest roller coasters I've ever been on. Yeah.
It's astonishing, and it scares the hell out of you. So, but we're glad you got to experience that.
Yeah, well, listen, and we're crazy excited about this current season, even though it's the last. We're praying for spinoffs or something like that. Maybe there's an Isaac series down the road. We'll see.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, right?
That'd be great.
Yeah. But listen, Kola, thank you so much. It's wonderful, wonderful entertainment. It's good for the heart, good for the soul, and we appreciate you being a part of it.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Kola Bokinni, guys. Keeping his time kind of short.
Yeah.
But Ted Lasso is on Apple TV Plus, and the new episode will come out tomorrow night, by the way. So I think this will be the third episode?
It'll be a third episode,
Okay.
yeah. I'm all caught up. I can't, I wish I could hold off like you. You have more restraint than your average human.
Honestly, with the discussion we just had about my dad and my family life, our time has we have not had the time to sit down and watch it yet.
Yeah, Rochelle wasn't here last week when the first episode dropped.
You want to be in the right frame of mind, too.
And that, too. Yeah, and this will certainly help.
By the way, if you're not in the right frame of mind, watching it can actually help. And I know it's weird to speak in these sort of glowing terms about a show, but it does, I will guarantee you'll find a character in this series that resonates with you and might make you feel a little bit better.
Yep. Casey pushed the show on me.
Yeah.
And I resisted, and then I gave in.
Well, you remember what happened with Fish?
I gave in, and as I told Kola, I think it's greatest, in my personal opinion, I think it's the greatest TV show I've ever seen. And I just, and I'm afraid I've watched it too much. Because we kept, like I said, turning it on to friends. We're like, sit down, let's watch this. All right, let's watch another episode. All right, I think we can get 2 more in. And then we end up watching the whole season.
Yeah, they were winning all these awards, and it was just a random Saturday that, and I'm like, all right, let me just give it a shot here. Let me just see what, and then I just didn't take my eyes off the TV. What were we talking about earlier where you're talking about somebody or
Chop Suey.
No, we were talking about that. Oh. No, somebody talking about something and pushing it so much and like you were going to hate it just because.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's my reaction.
Yeah.
When there's a flood of tremendous praise on something when it comes out, I have to take a breather because I'm going to go in there. I want to go in there with realistic expectations and then have that turnaround. Now, there's some things like I know I'm seeing John Wick this weekend. I know I'm going to be fine with that.
Yeah.
But in other things where I'm not so sure about it, I want to let it breathe a little bit before I respond and let the critical response or other people influence my decision about how I like it or don't.
Yep. We did skip traffic, so why don't we do that now and see what's
been writing her traffic all during that interview.
I know. She's edited it. It's all ready to go. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the masterpiece. Kathy Romano with a look at your traffic.
There's no writing that takes place. Schuylkill eastbound slows from Conshohocken into Belmont. It's then jammed from City to South Street. There was an accident that was out there off to the shoulder. It's now cleared, but that's what was causing that delay. Westbound, slowing their avenue to South Street, City to Belmont, and then again at Conshohocken. North 95 slows Dry Point Bridge to Broad Street southbound from Academy through to Bridge, and then the Betsy Ross Bridge to the Vine Expressway. Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound slows Virginia Drive to Fort Washington. 422 eastbound slowing Trooper to First Avenue on the Boulevard, with heavy southbound Broad to Fox. The Vine eastbound jams the Schuylkill to Broad, westbound the Ben Franklin Parkway to the Schuylkill Expressway, and then in Upper Providence, Route 1 Media Bypass northbound between Baltimore Pike and 252. They've got the right lane closed. It's some bridge deck repair that they're doing. They're saying until sometime on Tuesday. At 55 northbound, heavy from Deptford to the 42 freeway. 42 north slows 55 to 295. This traffic report brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on salmon at Whole Foods Market. Sustainable, wild caught, tropical, marinated, and plain sockeye salmon fillets are 25% off with Prime. through March 28th while supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
They loved it.
They loved it.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's really funny.
By the way, I got to point out, Romano was correct about my stained shirt earlier. I spilled coffee all over myself.
Let's see.
And I used a stain stick, a Tide stick. Right. And she's like, no, it's not going to work that way. I'm like, I've used Tide stick before. I know how these things work. She's like, no, you got to go soak it in water first.
Shut up, woman.
And then do it. And look at it now,
You
folks.
can't even tell.
I still want you to go home and wash it
I
right
know.
away, though,
I
because
know.
there might be a little lingering discoloration on the white, but
Yes.
so you need to wash it. But
the stains are gone.
And
Kathy,
not that the stain stick doesn't work, but with things like that will stain a shirt, like coffee, soy sauce, oil, things like that. You have to soak it all the way through and then do the stain stick or like a shout spray.
Okay.
How do you keep the lipstick on your nipples from staining your shirt?
Yeah. How you do that?
Band-Aids.
All right, listen, I do have some, and if I don't do these now, I don't know if I'll ever get to them, but I have some City Beat stories.
Really?
Yeah, some important things that have happened.
Wow. He's the meat behind the beat with lipstick on his teeth.
I just put that together.
That was pretty great.
Jazz with you, man. That is like a fine jazz symphony you just put
It's
together.
amazing. I do my street poetry every afternoon.
That's right.
So this is pretty cool. Mike Trout has partnered with Tiger Woods to build a private championship golf course in Vineland, New Jersey. They just announced it this
Oh,
week.
man, it's going to be private, though.
I know. That's all right. I'll work my magic.
Yeah.
But,
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
So there are a cluster of not a cluster, let's say a glob. No, there are a group of people who are renowned the world over for designing golf courses.
Yes.
This is a case where you call in one of those people,
Yeah,
right?
like Pete
they
Dye
they
and-
won't
and,
design it, right? They'll call on one of these masters to design it, right?
He might.
Ooh, Tiger?
Right.
No, he'll do it.
You think he will?
He and his company will.
Okay.
So like Jack Nicklaus
Yeah.
designed some fantastic golf courses. Now, I'm not as well versed in golf course designers. There are legendary names. And I know some people who know them very, very well, and they can look at a golf course and go, yeah, that's a Pete Dye course, just by the layout. But Tiger, yeah, he will be a part of the topography and the how it's all sculpted and planned and the layout and all that. Sure.
What's the expected completion?
2025.
That's
pretty
not
quick.
that far away, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talk about like something that is acres and acres and acres big. I mean,
They
that's
just have to chase the gypsies out.
yeah. But I was when I saw that completion date, I was like, oh, that almost doesn't sound right.
Well,
but
by the way, his firm is called TGR Design, Tiger Design.
I get it.
I assume that yeah, he will be a part of the design portion of that. Those guys usually are.
Yeah. So Mike Trout is from Millville, and he loves this area, and obviously he plays all the way across the country, but he loves Philadelphia and he loves this area, and when his playing days are done, I'm sure he's going to live back here. But I'm wondering, there's got to be like somebody who's close to Mike Trout, like somebody who when you
Like
say,
his mother.
No, like when you say, yeah, he's my friend, like he actually is your friend.
Oh, okay.
That's listening to this show right now.
All right.
Who can?
Well, I
make
bet
this
you could
happen.
play the course now. It'd be a lot easier.
Who can what?
Hook us up, connect us, and by us I mean you.
He said, I'm so excited to finally officially announce that we're doing this project and doing it in a community that means so much to me. He said, I was born in Vineland, raised in Millville. I met my wife, Jessica, in Millville, and my parents and siblings and in-laws still live in the area. I could put down roots anywhere in the country, but Jessica and I made South Jersey our off-season home and always cherish the time that we get to spend there. So construction on Trout National, the reserve is what it will be called, will begin this year, and the plan is open, like you said, for member play in 2025.
That's crazy.
The club, which is being developed with John and Lori Ruga, who are the owners of Northeast Precast, which is a Vineland, is being constructed between Sheridan Avenue and Route 55.
I know Lori's husband, Haruga.
Haruga.
Oh my God.
Great guy.
Haruga. And he said that the reserve is a dream come true. He said, and then to add that that we'll have a golf course designed by Tiger. He said it's just incredible to think that this. There it is. That this project has grown to where we're going to be working with someone many consider the greatest and most influential golfer of all time.
Nick, did you Do you happen to know where Mike Trout went to high school?
I think it was wasn't it Millville High School?
Did he just go to public high school out there?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, Case.
Wasn't sure if he was like drafted out of high school, like one of those dudes.
I don't know, but I did look up his contract while you were talking about him, and his contract ends in 2030, so I don't think he's going to be a Philly anytime soon.
No.
It is remarkable to me that Mike Trout is, I mean, he's one of the best baseball players in the world, and he is on the same team as another one of the best baseball players in the world in Shohei Ohtani. And the Angels stink. They're not.
Crazy, right?
They're a bad team, and yeah, two of the best players on the planet are on the same team, and they're just not a very good team.
By the way, Woods and the architecture firm TGR Design are also, and this is really cool, creating a new short course as part of Cobb's Creek Golf Club.
Okay, yeah.
Right down the road here.
Yeah.
Now that's
heard about that.
Yeah, that's a public course.
You know, I'm sorry. So Trout has something to do with that too?
No, Tiger does.
Oh, Tiger does. Okay.
So his architecture firm is going to do a short course. So I assume that's a par 3 course, maybe, or maybe like a.
Maybe it's 9 holes?
Shorter, or 9 hole, or maybe a par 69 or something like that. Yeah.
18-hole miniature golf course?
So they will also have, he says, a cutting-edge practice range, short game area, clubhouse, restaurant. It says 5-star lodging. A wedding chapel, and more.
In case you're so swept up in the sport, you want to get married on the green.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of golf courses do weddings.
Sure, yeah.
We went out to, is it Deer Park? Or no, not Deer Park.
That's good
Deer
water.
Run. No, Deer Run, which is a Jaworski course. And Lauren's husband is works over there, and they do a bunch of weddings in that area. They do a ton of wedding business. Actually.
Yeah, so my uncle was a member at Overbrook for a number of years, but he was not a golfer. He was what I guess they call a social member.
So use the club for the other amenities, correct?
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so thought that was kind of a cool little city. Is there something to add?
No, Casey asked where he went to high school, and it was Millville Senior High.
Okay.
He played baseball and basketball. He could have been drafted to the NBA as well.
Oh, my God.
That's how good of an athlete he is.
Wow. All right, here's another kind of entertainment story. We'll lump golf in with entertainment, but Atlantic City. The Island Water Park by the Showboat Hotel is progressing, and the goal is to be open by Memorial Day weekend this year.
Is it already underway?
Big time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can already see like the water slides coming out of it.
Interesting.
And all that. So
I'd love to see that.
The Island Water Park at Showboat is a 100,000 square foot glass pane curved roof water park under construction at the Showboat Hotel property in Atlantic City. We were just talking the other day, Steve. You were mentioning about making AC more family friendly.
There we go. Look at it. They listened, obviously, and they started this thing years ago.
Yes.
I mean, listen, that's what they did to Vegas. You know, Vegas is a family destination.
Then you get them all out there.
I think Atlantic City needs to do the exact same thing. Bring in the families if possible. You're already going to get the gamblers and the people that want to,
Daddy's losing your college fund. You can be on the water slide.
There you go. The $100 million project will have a glass retractable roof.
Ooh.
Wow, that's cool. Which will offer year-round water park fun featuring water slides, pools, restaurants, bars, and more. Will feature 11 water slides, the largest custom aqua forms in the world. I don't know what aqua forms are.
Like fake waterfalls and things of that nature?
Okay, I don't know. And 10,000 square foot splash pad.
Oh, 10,000 foot. What is that?
Square foot splash pad. I don't know. That's not like a wave pool.
No, maybe that's like a
whale tampon.
No, like a kids play area.
Oh, yeah,
okay. If you've ever been to
Splash pad?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's for babies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, listen, it's
like
for babies.
Fountains and
But Maury's has 2 water parks, at their piers, and closer to the beach, they have like the kids' water parks. They're more fun. I have had so much fun playing in there, and I have to go back there with my kids. Otherwise, it would be weird.
Sorry,
but
there's
you must be the toughest kid in there.
Excuse me, but there's an adult man in here.
No. I don't care. It's fun.
I'm not. I'm 4.5 years old.
They have the giant bucket that gets filled with water, and then it dumps.
I love that bucket.
Oh, it's so great.
Wait, but you've been there without your kids?
No. I've only been there with my kids.
Something in your eye?
Yeah, it's just something in my left eye. But
I think an aquaform is a multi-level water play structure.
Oh, yeah. So that would be where the giant bucket would be on top
I think
of.
that's
So
what
like,
it is.
okay. All right, then I was wrong.
So
I thought it was the.
that you go up, and then there's all kinds of you can dump water on people below you, and there's water guns and things like that.
yeah, they have that at Maury's as well. My kids told me.
Okay.
We're looking. Well, they have that at Hershey, don't they, as well?
Oh, Hershey has a giant one.
Yeah.
Oh, The only thing that was kind of a bummer about not going to
a bum. I don't like hanging out with bums. The problem with the water parks, they attract bums.
Yeah, right? You're with me, people? No, about being at Universal when we were, was that it was a little cold because they have some cool water rides.
They do, yeah.
And we didn't get to
Couldn't
really do any
access
of them.
those.
Yeah.
Volcano Bay.
And it was connected to the hotel we stayed at. So,
Yes.
like, if you wanted to go to the water park, you can, from where we stayed, you just walk there. You leave everything in your room and you could just walk right into the water park.
So we're looking at a picture of what this water park is going to look like, and this makes perfect sense. So normally where this is located by the hotel is where our finish line was for the Bend to the Shore bike. And last year it was in a different parking lot, and and that's why, because this was under construction.
Well, this looks spectacular. If they could pull this off, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And looking at the artist rendering, it's completely transparent. It's all glass.
Even the
all
bathrooms.
all the way around. You can see right in.
That
when
dude's
people-
taking a dump.
It will offer several bars and restaurants, a carnival-style gaming experience with retail shopping and private party rooms. Many other signature features will be available to take advantage of the high ceiling space provided by the glass enclosed facility. A treehouse area up over the ground level will offer bars, lounges, and more slides.
How much would you imagine real estate there of this size would go for? I mean, you're talking crazy money.
I don't know how much the real estate is, but it's a $100 million facility.
Yeah.
But I think you can still buy some decent chunks of real estate in Atlantic City, Steve. And do stuff like this. You know, like there are plenty of areas of AC that need rehabbing, and the more stuff like this that goes in, the better.
Preston and Steve World?
I think so. But, listen, Steve, that's why, the Wildwoods are having a nice resurgence.
Yes.
Because the other beach areas, financially wise, are just, unattainable. Like, you can't, like Avalon,
It's like
Stone
Avatar.
Harbor. If you are looking to invest your money, Avalon and Stone Harbor are not necessarily the places to go because the real estate's already super expensive.
And obviously AC and Wildwood, there's enough of a spread where they're not competitive, right?
Well, not just that, but also like the real estate in those towns are more affordable, so then you can get more return on your money.
Oh, okay.
Right. Hang on a second. Ron has a comment here. Hey, Ron, good morning.
Hey, sorry to bother you at work.
No, man. What's up, buddy?
So when I was first starting my career, I worked down in Wildwood and North Wildwood.
What's your career?
I was a police officer.
Okay.
I'm retired.
All right.
And we used to have the employees from Maurice Pier ask us to remove adults that did not have children because they were playing.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you remember if there was ever anyone booked wearing a fish T-shirt?
Yeah, that was a common thing even many years ago. And now that they've increased their water park, Nick, I would say make sure you don't go in without your kids.
Come on, Nick.
Yeah, Nick. It was Casey.
Come on, Nick. Why are you doing that, Nick?
Yeah,
you creep.
Nick
How
is
embarrassing for Nick.
Thank you,
Crumb
Ron.
creep. Listen, that's not fair. It's fun. Why do kids get that? We're the ones spending the money. Come on.
I mean, you
And they
can
made
take
such
part.
good friends.
You can take part. You just,
Yeah,
don't go by
don't
yourself.
be weird about it.
Like that scene in Big where they're in the toy store and Tom Hanks is running around with the little kids shooting ray guns at each other.
Yeah.
That's Casey.
No. Or that scene in Billy Madison where there's an adult just splashing a kid with the hose and the kid's like, stop it. Why are you doing that?
By the way, I got a text from somebody that says, working on the bar for the Showboat Island Bar right now.
Nice.
And listening to you guys. That's awesome.
Love it.
By the way, they're going to have a zip line.
Oh, cool.
That's going to travel through the long indoor space and a gravity coaster.
They should have a zit line. People with bad skin condition.
No, you know what they should do is a zip line through like a water, like spraying water. I've never seen that before.
Yes.
That'd be pretty cool. The boardwalk fronting block is very deep, and even though this new 100,000 square foot facility is massive, it sits in the farther side of the end of the block, about 700 feet from the boardwalk. So there's going to be some room between it and the boardwalk. So who knows what they might put in between.
Yeah.
In that space, but that's pretty cool. It says right now it appears that all of the core roof steel support structures are installed. About 75% of the glass roof panels are in place. While most of the water fun is featured inside the facility, they have smartly extended several tube slides outside of the building for weather-protected fun, twists, and turns before the tubes head back into the facility and end in an indoor water pool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what, man? The other part that we're not talking about is the amount of jobs that this is creating.
Yep.
Yes. 4. No, it's going to be
jobs.
All right, let's go to somewhere else in the city. Cindy Beat. I have two more stories I want to try to get to if we can.
Jam them on in here.
This I saw was a press release from the Bucks County warehouse. Not warehouse, the Playhouse. Good Lord.
It's a different. When's the show start? Dude, this is where we lumber and toilets. There's a warehouse.
No.
Is this the one in New Hope?
I'm here to see Showboat.
You guys will like this. It is called the Canine Cabaret Variety Show, and 9 world-class stunt dogs are taking the stage of Bucks
Stunt
County
dogs.
Playhouse.
Big dogs running, big dogs out.
And a comedy show suitable for the entire family. And not just any. The all-star lineup includes the highest jumping dog in the world.
Yes.
2 Guinness World Record champions, a hilarious 6-pound Pomeranian Pikachu mix, and a host of a previously discarded dogs that will dance, prance, flip, and skip their way right into your heart, it says.
And that guy.
This should be a lot of fun.
That is cool. I used to love when you'd go to various places. Zoos had them. SeaWorld, they've gone through some stuff recently, but they'd have the performing animals show. And it'd be great. You get to see these talented animals come out and do their
I think
stuff.
it's actually called Mutt's Gone Nuts.
Mutt's Gone Nuts?
Yeah. That's what it says here. It says, deemed a must-see by the Washington Post, Mutt's Gone Nuts is sure to win Best in Show.
Yes, I'd like to see Mutt's Nuts, please.
Oh, no. Mutt's Gone Nuts. Nick, were you going to say something? Sorry.
No.
Okay. So if you are interested, tickets, let me see here, are available at buckscountyplayhouse.org, and they are on sale now. And the show is May 5th at 7 and May 6th at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So there's only 3 shows from what I can see.
So normally the Eagles would have the Frisbee Dogs halftime show during.
They're great.
They are, but
I love them.
They would have it during the pregame, or sorry, preseason. This year they had it during the regular season. Because I feel like it wasn't the playoff game, was it?
Well, they had a misstep because they had that Frisbee rhino for a little while.
It was a bad idea. Just dug up the field.
I didn't hear what you say. What'd you say?
The
Casey?
Frisbee Dogs, the Eagles actually did it during a regular season game this year.
Oh, they've been doing it during regular season for a while.
Yeah, but because they were always doing it during the preseason. I'm like, this is too good for preseason.
Oh, it's my favorite. And they earlier in the season had like a Frisbee team. Like not dogs, like regular people playing Frisbee.
Playing against each other competitively?
Yeah, that was crap.
Yeah, it's
because Frisbee dogs.
Dogs are right. Dogs are much more fun.
The best is
Dogs are
when
the best.
the dog just is like, I'm sorry, I got to go. And
You gotta leave. I'm sorry.
No, he takes a
I got
dump on
my
the-
financial planner coming up at 3.
Yeah. No, you had to take a dump?
Take
you
a dump
mean?
on the field. That's great.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome.
Press, it's bcptheater.org. Bucks County Playhouse Theater.
Bucks County Warehouse.
So it's just
This says buckscountyplayhouse.org.
Try them
Are you
both.
looking at the Bucks County Theater or the Bucks County Playhouse? I think I said the wrong thing. Yeah, no, because I said
that-
warehouse at first.
I think they're the same thing.
Are they? Is the Bucks County Theater and Bucks County Playhouse
Is it
the
like
same thing? I
schedule
think
and
that-
schedule?
I think they're two different
It's
things.
called the Bucks County Playhouse Theater.
Oh, okay.
And so it's bcptheater.org.
Yeah, you know me.
All right. Okay. So, well, they gave me bad information.
Listen, maybe the specifics, but the actual story is very, very cool.
You can do buckscountyplayhouse.org too?
yeah, it'll take you there, Preston.
Okay. All right. Very
That
good.
sounds delightful.
All right, one more thing, and it's pretty cool recognition. President Biden announced his intent to appoint 27 members to the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, and one of our friends made it on the list.
Is it me?
Jose Garces.
I didn't know he was an athlete.
He's not. It says it's sports, fitness, and nutrition.
Oh, that would be his part. We love him.
So among the intended appointees are Jose Garces, Ryan Howard, and a few other people from the area. And I hope I don't mess up the names too bad.
Oh.
But Barbie Izquierdo,
yeah.
and Michael Solomonov.
Yeah, he's the one who has
Laser Wolf.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is the wolf from the future.
No, it's not. It's one of the best restaurants in the country.
I know, but the James Beard Award or what?
Maybe the world.
There's a whole bunch of laser wolves out there.
When you open the door at the restaurant, it should do that. So the PCSFN is a federal advisory committee that promotes healthy eating and physical activity for all Americans. Committee members include athletes, physicians, fitness professionals, nutrition experts, and entrepreneurs who who are appointed by the president and serve through the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So obviously, we know Jose Garces very, very well. Obviously, we know Ryan Howard and what he's all about. But Izquierdo is an Afro-Latina activist who was born and raised in North Philadelphia. And she became an advocate, organizer, and consultant fighting the exploitation of people affected by public policy, and is the director of advocacy, Neighbors Engagement, and Feeding America.
It's a long bunch of stuff there.
The founder of Community Driven Consulting, LLC.
What's Ryan Howard up to these days? I mean, besides this?
Didn't he just kind of leave us behind?
Well, I mean, because he kept trying to play for a while. He had the injury in the last game against the Cardinals, and then he rehabbed for a year, and he came back, and he wasn't very strong on the Phils, and then I think he ended up in the Braves minor league organization. So he tried playing for a stretch. I just don't know what he's doing.
I think he opened up a warehouse in Bucks County.
He did.
All right.
That's great. Good.
I don't know if he
luck.
moved back to St. Louis. He grew up in my hometown of Chesterfield.
I saw his house south of Clearwater Beach a few years ago when we went down.
Nice.
Were we
I was
probably
with you,
there?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my dear God.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So Ken Griffey Jr., is he playing? He's 53 years old. He just joined the Reds. Did you see that?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Back to you, brother. Well, because he's super retired, Ryan Howard is.
Super retired.
And Ken Griffey
That means
Jr.
you're dead.
is 53, and I thought he just joined a team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Solomonov, James Beard award-winning chef and cookbook author, and the first Israeli-American restaurateur, a restaurant to be awarded.
Yeah, that's hugely popular.
Zahav, is that how you say it? Zahav.
Yeah. Zahav.
And they won Outstanding Restaurant by the James Beard Foundation and co-owns Federal Donuts. Dizengoff, Abe Fisher, Goldie, Laser Wolf, and others.
What a list.
As well.
It's crazy.
So, yeah.
I guess we don't rate.
So they made it onto the president's list appointed to this committee, which is really, really cool.
You have your own pickles. I don't know why you're not on the
I
list.
do have my own pickles. I should probably think about that. By the way, I have news coming out about that.
No, not now. Breaking news.
Laser pickles?
This is something else. Marissa just brought this in. Okay, I haven't read this. Turkey Hill teased that they might be bringing back their iconic Graham Slam ice cream. While the flavor was available in scoop shops, it disappeared from supermarket shelves in 2017. Yesterday around lunchtime, the Pennsylvania-based dairy company posted a pinstripe-backed image of a soaring baseball that read, "Fans have spoken." And it says, "You asked and we stepped up to the plate. Turkey Hill's most requested flavor of all time, Graham Slam, is back. Enjoy this legendary flavor for a few extra innings."
Is it graham cracker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
I've not had it.
It was
Slam.
for a stretch. It was my son's favorite ice cream, and so we had it in the house quite a bit. And I'm a huge fan. It's not my favorite, but I do love it.
I do love Turkey Hill.
Yeah.
I did not know that Turkey Hill was Pennsylvania-based.
Oh, yeah, up by Lancaster. Yeah.
Now,
No kidding.
no offense to Turkey Hill, but Hershey's Graham Central Station is a superior graham cracker based.
Ooh, is there
ice
chocolate
cream.
in that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So anyhow, this will be available beginning today at local retailers.
With
So there you
Grand
go.
Theft Auto?
Graham Theft Auto.
I like that.
That's good
by
too.
the way, Ryan Howard does own Raising Cane's. I don't think he owns all of them, but I think he owns
the chicken place.
The chicken place around here. Yeah.
Yes, I desperately want to try that place.
You can't
I
really
forget
think.
about it.
Yeah.
And Ken Griffey Jr. has a deferred contract.
Oh,
Casey,
okay, so
the
he's
Reds-
not playing.
He's not playing. He's at 51. He's not signing back up, and he hasn't played since 2010.
Put me in, coach.
He's getting paid. He's getting paid through 2029 or something like that.
Wow.
Keep me in the infield because I got the squirts.
Oh, Jesus. All right. City Beat, done.
That's it.
Finished. That's
Out.
it. We're done.
City Beat, out, yes.
We would like to give away Jersey Mike's. I have $50 gift cards. And caller number 18, we'll give one to you, 215-263-WMMR. You can give back and get something tomorrow at all Jersey Mike's stores, by the way. By purchasing subs, drinks, chips, or catering, they're going to be donating 100% of sales.
That's awesome.
To Alex's Lemonade Stand.
It's terrific.
And you'll receive an amazing sub and feel great in return. So caller 18 will set you up, 215-263-WMMR. Coming back with Bizarre File. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Very aristocratic.
Yes.
Finish this line. Turn to page 300
and 5.
Close. 94.
Okay. All right. That was good.
You are surely wondering why I have summoned you.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have his headphones on.
All right.
Snevers.
Snevers is
This is Snurpy Snipplesmayer.
Here we go.
It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade. Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter,
you have to space out your.
I am Snervius Snappus Snippler, and I drink Snapple for the enjoyment, and I click the lid.
And my least favorite soup is Snapper.
Snapper.
they will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore,
you have to space out your syllables.
That's good. That's good.
Speak.
I
There
will
you go.
have a sarsaparilla.
I had mentioned earlier that I'm a fan of escape rooms. They're a fun activity that you can do with friends or family or coworkers. And basically the concept is you get placed into a room with a group of people, and there are a series of clues in this room, and there's some sort of a mission that you have to execute. Sometimes it's get a key and get out of the room. Other times it's you've got to solve a murder mystery, or you have to find a missing person or something like that.
It's like a real-world puzzle situation.
Yeah. And you're usually given a time limit, about an hour, to get through all the clues, work together, and achieve the mission. And then you're declared victorious. If not, then, well, you didn't make it. So we decided to incorporate that. I think we're going to go to our main man who helms he's got the keys to MMR. He's the man about town, of course. Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, there we are.
Hey.
How you doing, Bill?
I'm okay.
All right.
All right.
We see you standing in front of it says 1313.
Oh.
Which is like the Munsters, yes.
So it's I've been told it's the Bates Manor.
The Bates Manor
is the whole deal, and it's a mansion, and Mr. Bates apparently has a lot of cash on hand, and you guys are going to have to get in there and get it and get out. There's a safe somewhere in there that you need to crack. Get in, get the loot, and get out before the cops get there, which I assume is within an hour right after it starts.
He's the patriarch. He is Master Bates, right?
Yeah, he is Master Bates. No. So, Bill, we were going to set you up with Jackson and Matt Cord. Are they handy? Are they nearby?
I have not seen them.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I don't know. It's rather strange for a disc jockey to be late.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? Maybe we can help you out. Let's see. Is there anybody else we might be able to substitute for? Because we got to get this underway.
Last-minute replacements? Is that even doable?
I don't know.
I also hear that there's going to be other members, like a couple other people besides Jackson and Matt. A newspaper reporter is going to come along with us because we act as a team.
Okay.
And you got to have at least 4 people to kind of figure out all the clues and try to advance into further rooms. And
well, you know what, Bill? I think we sent Nick down there because we wanted Nick to make sure everything ran smoothly, and Nick should be on location. Nick, could you see if there's anybody else that we could scare up because we do need to get this underway?
We can't be waiting fully. I mean, when they get there, they get there.
Yeah, if
Jackson
you've got,
or Matt.
I think Nick can hear us.
He
Nick,
can. He
if
should
you
be
can bring, if there's anybody like cast members or whatever, if you can bring them on out.
Sorry, I'm now down the hallway. Hey, Bill, here's this is Pitchuation.
Oh God!
Here, come on in, Pitch.
Enter Pitchuation.
Yeah, he's here with us, and this guy.
Who else we have?
We got a really tall guy.
Jackie Bam Bam.
Jackie Bam Bam. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh,
who else?
And last but not least, come on around the corner, young man.
It's Gary Lauer.
Oh my God! I mean,
he's locked in a room with Gary Lauer.
This is going to be the most cacophonous sounding radio bit with Nick's booming voice and pitch like glass shattering. There's nothing but loud people in here.
Well, you know, it works out, Bill, because just by happenstance, the people we believe you'd most want to be locked up with are there around you right now.
Oh, and Bill, if you haven't figured it out, Jackson and Matt were never going to be down there being a part of this. This is just we had this set up.
I thought there might be some type of prank going on here because Jackson walks and never gets up for anything.
So we were wondering who Bill, and it's all about teamwork for this, and we thought, well, who might it be difficult for Bill to corral and get? So as much as we love Jackie and he's the most amazing overnight guy ever, he is a bit scattered. He's a little, all over the place.
I got microphones on me and my pants are falling down. He told me to wear pockets. I didn't wear underwear, but
there you go.
Any underwear?
Of course you didn't. And Pitch, no, he never wears underwear. Pitch, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, this is great. I can hear everybody back in the studio.
Hey!
Everybody. Hey, how's Billy doing? I know Bill Weston's having the time of his life.
Oh, my God. They say this is like a really great team-building exercise. I'm really wondering what the outcome is going to be.
Last but not least,
all of these people.
Let's see how the mayor of Juniata Park is doing. Gary, can you hear me?
This is going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah?
Kindergarten for adult males. I think we're going to have a wonderful time, children.
I think you painted the best picture simply by saying kindergarten.
Yeah, and by the way, Gary, we've elected you team captain.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down.
I believe you have 1 hour from the time this starts. So is there anybody there to officially begin this whole thing, Bill? Is Randy nearby?
Randy gave me a bit of an orientation, and like things like numbers on the wall and like there's locks, and I guess we got to find a key to get into the lock of the mailbox. Maybe that tells us how to get into the main door of the next room. And so, I guess
go ahead.
We're ready to get started.
We're looking at the collection here, Bill, on the monitor. It looks like the worst bachelor party ever.
All right, it's starting.
Clock is running. Go ahead in.
Go.
Let's do this.
Let's do stuff. Let's do it.
Let's do stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So there's a lock on the mailbox. There's also a lock over here on this.
Oh my gosh! The first thing is a puzzle. Oh.
This birdhouse. All right. There's a flashlight hanging on the wall.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
They can't hear us right now, so we're going to listen in, and I'll kind of describe what they're doing. They're searching around the front door.
What the heck is this? It looks like one of those mirrors that they stick under a car to see if you got a bomb under there.
There's probably something.
Use that to look up above, and maybe there's something.
Bill's got the right idea.
I don't think Jackie Bam Bam understands what's going on.
That's the thing.
I think he thinks this is a kid's birthday party.
Yeah. I talked to Jackie this morning, and I'm like, look, have you been briefed on what's going to happen? And he just kind of sent me back, I don't know. It's kind of, I was just told we got to get out of a room or something. So he doesn't really understand the whole concept of it all.
And Gary looks like he's just like he's picking things up and looking at them, but even if it was a clue, he's putting it back.
All right, let's listen in. Hang on. His Pitchuation laughing.
Oh,
Jackie found something.
Thank you. I found a key.
Where's going, Jack?
Key? Under the mat. Under the mat. All right. Catch, Peg.
Oh, you're welcome.
How about the is it small? It's probably this one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're about to open up the mailbox out front. Let's see.
We got it.
Okay. All right, Jackie got it open. He found the key and he's getting it open.
Unlock the mailbox.
All right.
First, we have a letter inside the mailbox.
Let me try that key in this other lock.
What if Jackie's like a Manchurian candidate? Like he's been programmed, like he's Jason Bourne and doesn't know it.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
It's as requested. We've set your alarm code for a 4-digit number. Should you somehow forget the code, simply look around before entering the house. Please let us know if we can be of further assistance.
It'll probably be the number on the front.
Pointing to the 1313 house number on the side of the house. Where's that coming from?
Bill wants to know whose phone is ringing.
Your phone off?
It's Gary.
Gary's got a phone.
Yelling at Gary.
I told Gary goes out with a landline.
But is there a keypad?
That's an intercom.
That's an intercom.
It's once you go inside, there'll be a keypad.
No, there's a woman there. Is she part of the? Is she
I think she's
journalist?
the newspaper reporter.
There's another key in here. There's another key inside the
I'll trade
mailbox.
you that key for this kid.
All right, so even just getting in takes this long, Preston.
There's a legitimate newspaper reporter there? I didn't know that was going to happen.
Either that or it's Jackie's girlfriend.
Wait, look, Gary took the second key and he's trying to unlock the front door.
Trying the front door. They got to remember the code when they get in.
Gary just opened the door.
Okay.
Next room, we spent 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
And Bill Weston did none of it.
No, Bill.
Nice to meet you.
Dolores.
You got glasses?
He has to corral
What was the
them.
alarm code?
1313.
Where's
No, so 1313.
Oh,
Yes.
there's an alarm going off.
Yep. Hang on.
313.
Did it take it?
It took it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Sometimes, Steve, they'll also they'll use computer monitors and so forth to send you if you're headed in the wrong direction for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will send clues over to you.
Will they do it over your phone as well, or will they?
Not the ones I've done.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a monitor that's mounted in the room. You'll hear a little prompt, and you can go over and look at the monitor, and it'll say, have you tried this? And it'll give you a vague direction on which to go.
Oh, here's
a video.
This is a painting that's speaking.
Oh, that's cool.
Make haste.
It's a video.
You must work quickly to find your way out. Make your way to the safe and take the fortune hidden inside.
That is cool.
Hey, Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It seems like you guys, we've been watching the entire time. The teamwork is going, it's pretty damn good so
Figure
far.
out which one it is out of all these murders.
Hey, Gary, can you shut up? Shut up. Say that again, Preston.
I said the teamwork seems to be in place so far.
And you just totally undermined his observation by telling Gary to shut up.
Well, no, everybody's working. It's good. We got a team here, and
we're doing stuff.
Are you guys impressed by just how this room looks so amazing?
Phil, why are you
He's absolutely right.
Randy was telling me that this is not just cheap site. Will you?
Whose phone keeps going off?
Pad making this noise?
It might be that pad.
They are stuck apparently at a point. They're attempting to play a game of chess, it looks like, and it's not going well.
Maybe they need some help. Bill, are you there?
I'm here, yes.
All right, Bill, are you guys stuck on a clue?
We're kind of stuck. Part of the thing is we had to find this chess book, and we configured the chessboard exactly in the diagram of the thing. But it just looks like a regular chessboard and pieces on top. It doesn't look like there's some hidden lever or something that's going to be exposed. So we're kind of stuck on it.
Does it look like a number or anything like that? Are the chess pieces in a number?
Oh.
Is there anything else that goes in conjunction with the chessboard besides just that book that's there?
Do we have to? Maybe we play the next move.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
But who knows whose turn it is? That's the thing.
So the black moved over here. He took the rook.
Set the board up exactly like it's in the book.
Okay, Randy sounds a little impatient.
Randy does sound impatient.
What are you guys, morons?
Maybe you need to double check it. Maybe
stupid.
Play chess every day.
Maybe he's saying you didn't do it correctly.
I'd rather play checkers. It's a lot easier.
All right, so maybe you guys didn't set it up.
All right, let's do the bizarre file right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you this morning by A.D. Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. A.D. Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. You can visit them on the web at admoyer.com. So a driver with the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority is being praised for his quick thinking after his bus was nearly rammed head-on by an SUV and then attacked with pruning shears.
Pruning shears?
A spokesperson said all of a sudden he sees an SUV in his lane coming toward him. The bus driver slammed on the brakes, trying to avoid a collision, but there was no shoulder and nowhere to pull off. The driver
treat you like topiary.
The driver, oncoming, stopped just inches away from the front of the bus, got out of the bus, and proceeded with some pruning shears to smash the bus windshield and the side mirrors, and then proceeded to smash his own car. The sheriff's office responded and arrested the driver, who was identified as Dino Oliveira.
Guy doesn't really seem lucid to me, you know?
By the way, leaders with the transit authority there, the transit union, are pushing for legislation that could ban bad actors from buses. They say that these kinds of assaults happen all too often.
Well, how do they know how someone is at acting?
Yeah. Right?
You'd have to put on all these productions and do these auditions.
A motive has not been discovered in the incident. Sometimes LA freeways look like action movie scenes, but there is a car. You'll see this, a car flying several feet into the air. There's video of this, and then flipping over after a tire popped off a truck.
I've never seen anything like it.
It's real and it's insane, and nobody was hurt in it.
It just blows my mind. Yeah.
Dash cam video was captured, and the entire accident went down on LA's Ronald Reagan Freeway.
What the hell's going on?
The Kia Soul was passing a pickup truck when the truck's left front tire comes loose. The loose tire slams into the front of the passing Kia, and then it launches.
Have you guys seen the footage?
Oh, yeah.
Way up into the air.
I don't know how the person driving the Kia didn't die.
Yeah. The Kia does a flip midair before landing.
God.
And just when the chaos seemed to be ending, the same rogue tire slams into the back of the Kia after it flips over. And you'll see, we're watching the video of this here in the studio.
It's the craziest damn thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then the truck managed to be to exit the freeway on 3 wheels. Like, you have a hard time stopping if you lose one of your wheels. Astoundingly, the LAPD says there were no major injuries. So
I was on the Long Island Expressway years ago, and a truck lost a tire in a similar fashion, Preston. It didn't collide with any cars, but it must have launched 50 feet in the air.
Yep.
It was unbelievable.
Yep, there have been people who have been killed many times by tires coming loose like that. It's pretty wild.
So not like injured at all?
It says no serious injuries.
Oh my God!
So I would imagine some people
a couple of bruises and scrapes.
Yeah, happened on the Ronald Reagan freeway, by the way. So let's see. All right, this was good to hear. A missing 75-year-old Marion County woman was found safe, and she was found by python hunters.
Python hunters?
Yeah, in Florida. The Marion County Sheriff's Office said Thursday that Darlene Peck was located in South Florida after a silver alert was issued for her the previous day. Deputy said Peck was in good health and
you're okay because we're python hunters.
Reunited with her family. Sheriff's officials did not release any other details about the recovery of Peck, who suffers from dementia. Peck was reported missing by her husband, who said she left their home Tuesday to go to Ocala. Her Nissan Rogue was spotted near Miami.
So she's discovered by python hunters. She had to be where pythons are.
That's what I'm wondering. If she was out in the Everglades or
I thought it was at a Denny's.
The hell was going on?
Yeah.
So who knows? So the real-life taxidermied animal that inspired the movie Cocaine Bear today will officiate a Kentucky couple's wedding at the Fun Mall Museum in Lexington.
Yeah, they're going to actually stick the thing up in front of right? You can rent that thing out now, right? They're making money off of it.
It was on social media. They wrote, "Y'all are cordially invited." This is the Kentucky for Kentucky store where the bear is on display. And they wrote, Cocaine Bear presides over and affirms the union of Alexandra and Amanda on this day. Dress up, join us, and wish the couple well. This will be Cocaine Bear's first wedding ceremony.
That's great.
The museum's co-founder, Griffin Van Meter, said.
He's done a few baptisms.
He said, as long as you feel that the person marrying you, like Cocaine Bear, has the authority, then that marriage can be binding here in Kentucky. The actual coke-ingesting bear, also known as Pablo Escobar, died from a cocaine overdose in 1985 after drug dealer Andrew Thornton dropped 88 pounds of the drug in 3 duffel bags from an airplane over Blairsville, Georgia. And so
it became a movie.
Yeah, and now he's an officiant. He's a man of the cloth.
Yes.
And then finally, we will end with this story. Burglars may have gotten more than they bargained for when they targeted a home in Wisconsin last week. The 2 men snatched thousands of dollars worth of tools from a house in Milwaukee. They apparently also unwittingly grabbed a security camera that continued to transmit from their kitchen table.
This is hilarious.
The camera captured the moment 2 thieves stole it, along with the tools from a home being rehabbed. The real estate broker saw the whole thing. Realtor Erica Winship said somebody picked up the camera and said, "What is this?" And then they bagged it, not knowing that it was still active because the house was vacant after the burglars kicked in the front door. They spent some time inside, but it's what happened later that could lead to their arrest. Winship said,
people will never know that we live at 24 Main Street in an upstairs apartment.
Winship said they took around $8,000 in tools. They took the camera, which was hidden, which they did not know would operate pretty much anywhere.
That's great.
So it's operating on their dining table right now. We can see everything. She shared the video on Monday, a week after the burglary, still in the home of the burglar.
It's a hell of a camera.
She said, we're seeing people doing drugs. We're seeing people talk about how they sold stuff, where the money went. They can only assume that they don't realize the camera is still transmitting. She said, they may or may not, but I don't think they really care. It's really disheartening when someone works so hard to rev up a house and make sure it's occupiable, and lovely for someone to live in. So they haven't found these people yet.
What? Oh, my God.
And the camera is still operating.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. The battery-operated camera uses the cellular network, and as of Monday night, was still transmitting nearly 8 days after it was stolen. Milwaukee police said they're continuing to investigate, but they have made no arrests.
They should be able to triangulate, shouldn't they?
I don't know. Well, maybe not on the cellular network. Well, no, they'd be able to ping it, right? And find out where it's sending that to, at least narrow it down somewhat. But they
Ping the
haven't found
crap out of it.
All right, there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, going to give away one last $50 gift card. Our friends at Jersey Mike's brought by some sandwiches, some box lunches, and we have $50 gift cards. Let's take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. This month, Jersey Mike's across the country celebrate the 13th annual month of giving, and tomorrow, here's what you do. Purchase at any store, 100% of the sales are going to be donated to local charities, including Alex's Lemonade Stand.
Nice.
Jersey Mike's be a sub above, so we'll take that caller, number 12, and we will set you up with the gift card. We're going to take a break, come back. Lesson question, trash, music news, those things are on the way next. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Gary has a magnifying glass.
Check that board.
Which he doesn't need to be using.
Wow. Look and see if there's something else.
Oh, this is straight up from Da Vinci Code.
Wow, that is wild, dude.
All right.
Listen,
What am I hearing? Oh, here, I got something. Okay. I cracked the cipher thing.
oh, look, we opened the fire.
Oh, we did something! We did something!
Let me go first.
Go ahead, guy.
I want the money.
How did that?
Go ahead, Bill.
Quit yelling. Listen, grab them keys. All the keys, grab them. There's a metal box here. Access on the door.
Can you pull one? Don't.
All right. There we go.
Yo, Preston, we're going to do this, brother.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right, secret door.
We've got a.
We're in another room, I think. We got another room.
They just opened a secret door. Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You guys just got into a secret door, it looks like.
This is wild. Wow,
Yes.
there's a lot.
Oh my
We're in
gosh.
our third room,
These
Press.
people are so loud.
Jackie. Jackie, are you excited?
On the chain.
Flashlight's not working.
It's such a demure group.
Are you finding this pretty engaging? It looks like you're having a pretty good time.
Let me see if I can fix this.
I'm a little frustrated.
No lights in this third room, guys.
The chessboard was a difficult one because we didn't know the designation between a king and a queen, but
Okay.
it was pretty cool.
That's what the problem was. Okay.
All right, but just watching it, it looks fascinating.
Oh.
Gary,
That's amazing. That's a great start. That's awesome.
Okay, it says Isaiah 11.
All right, I don't want to give
No, we
away
don't give
any
too much.
any clues, so I'm going to turn that down.
You know, it's a bit of revelation here, Preston. I think Gary Lauer has his thinking teeth in because he's doing a great job.
His thinking jam.
It's jam teeth. Preston, is this how it normally works where you go from room to room? Because I was under the impression you were in a room and you stayed in that room until you could get out.
No, sometimes there are rooms. I was in one time where it was a false wall and you had no idea there was another room, and then we did something and all of a sudden it creaked open and you're like, oh my God, so or you're like, does that door open? I have no idea, and eventually you find a key, you open it, like, yes, and then while you are excited about that, then you have a whole new room of clues that you got to go through. There it is. You have a whole new room of clues. You're like, oh my God, here we got to start over again. But then again, there might be things in that room that pertains to something that was 2 rooms ago that you need to have remembered.
Okay.
It's cool stuff.
Well, Gary Lauer, did you hear that you have 2 minutes and 40 seconds?
We're working on it, Casey Foster. We're working on it, brother.
Thank you.
We're dripping. We're dripping with sweat here.
They're dripping.
I just wanted to gag now.
Yeah.
My balls are sweaty.
All right.
Maybe just do it in.
Hang in there, sweet tea. We're going to do this for you, honey.
They're actually working on the combination of the safe.
Yeah, it's.
Bill is very happy.
Bill's looking at the camera.
You can tell by his shaking the head no.
He looks deflated.
You don't have another one?
Time ran out.
Time ran out. That's it. All right. Sorry, guys. Time's up.
You guys were this close. We did everything. All you had to do was crack that safe.
So Randy's coming in to tell them what they did incorrectly and what they need to do to finish it. So
what's the other number?
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Thank you too. Randy Bates at Bates Motel and Bates Motel Escape Room.
Oh, very exciting.
Bill Weston, Jackie Bam Bam, Pitchuation, and Gary Lauer for participating in that event this morning. And if you've never done an escape room, and this one, looking at the video, and I've done a few of them myself, looks top notch.
Nearly 2 million people are under evacuation orders in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, where residents stocked up on supplies and boarded up homes as Hurricane Matthew marches towards the U.S. We have. Do we have some clips from?
Here you go.
No.
No, this is not working at all.
What is it? What were you hitting?
I'm hitting the button that starts whatever is on the Vox Pro to play.
Nothing.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's frozen, guys.
That's all right. At least
I give today's show a 10 so far.
10 so far. How do we achieve a 10? There we go. So early.
It's like 10 minutes in. At least 16 deaths in the Caribbean have been blamed on the storm, with heavy damage reported in Haiti. As the early morning approached Thursday, Matthew was centered about 295 miles southeast of West Palm Beach and moving northwest at 10 miles per hour.
10.
16.
10! My mother and sister live in Florida now. They live on the Gulf side. They live near Tampa and St. Petersburg. The people there are so desensitized.
They are
to these huge storms. I'm like, Mom, you guys. I mean, over the years, I've been like, Mom, are you guys gonna head north? She's like, Nah, we'll just we'll just stay here. And
you know how they the 24-hour news cycle wants to amp up everything. But they're saying this one, yes, be really cautious of this one. It's hitting hard against the state.
It's going to be a Category 4 when it hits land there.
Right. Will she at least, I mean, I don't see your mother out there plyboarding the windows or anything like that, but...
She bought some plyboard.
What's that, plywood?
Plyboarding.
Whatever. Plywooding the windows.
Boarding up.
Boarding up the windows, but they do it with plywood. Anyway, does she have... like special shutters that cover the windows?
No, well, she lives in a condominium like community or apartment complex.
Yeah, I was down in Florida. This was years ago when a storm was coming through. I have family that lived down there my whole life, so we were down there. A storm was coming through, and I remember my aunt was like, "Okay, let's go, open all the windows," and I was like, "Open the windows?
Yeah.
What?" There was a tornado coming through, and we had to open all the windows, and then we were hiding in like doorways. It was pretty damn scary.
That growing up in kind of the tornado alley area, that was.
Oh my God! Tornado! That was me.
The belief was that if you open the windows, it kind of depressurizes the inside of the home, and your windows won't explode. But I think it's been proven false. But some people think that you're supposed to open the windows.
And it was pretty scary. Like that wind was whipping through the house. I mean, stuff was flying all over the place.
Well, you hope the best for them down there. I mean, Haiti got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just.
I said plyboard. I meant to say plywood boards. I just let down the word wood. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. A second 12-year-old has been arrested and charged following another clown threat against a school in Toms River. On Tuesday evening, police say that at no time was there any credible threat, and it appears to be an ill-conceived hoax. The girl was arrested and charged with third-degree criminal count of causing false public alarm.
Anyway.
That's fast.
So we
have that isolated now, yes.
Anyway.
And it's so loud.
So today, when you're dropping by the 10 store to pick up your plyboard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was like the start of his Broadway show.
I loved it, man. My favorite part of the day so far.
Anyway.
And it's early.
It is.
And that's going to continue for the rest of the morning.
All morning. Nick just pulled this up. We're going to talk about something else, but I can't not mention this. Bob Dylan won a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Was he awarded a Nobel Peace Prize, huh?
Literature Prize.
Literature.
Yeah. The 75-year-old rock legend received the prize for, quote, having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Yeah.
So he didn't win a Peace Prize.
No, he didn't win the Peace Prize. He won the Literature Prize.
It's kind of interesting that he won a Literature Prize for a body of work, not something that was just released.
Specific.
Right?
Yeah, it's usually, by my understanding, it's awarded for something. For example, who was the last recipient? And they won for a specific work.
I'll look it up.
Nick, you know off the top of your head. You know what? I don't know, but yeah, usually it's for
like Harper Lee. Didn't she win for
Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah,
To Kill a Mockingbird, or was it her laser tag place?
Harper Lee. Do you love the thrill of combat? Set against a futuristic dystopian world? Well, then you gotta try laser tag. Pew, 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 pew. I'll kill you, you cyborg mother effer.
Let me see here. Nobel Prize Literature, Bob Dylan, 2016. Svetlana Alexievich won last year.
That's for the 18th Where's Waldo book. Apparently, it was the most difficult time finding Waldo.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyhow, he's got a Nobel Prize under his belt now. So.
What do you get? It's like a WWE belt, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. No, I have no idea what the actual prize looks like. It's got to be, I don't know, some kind of a plaque or
a hat that says "I'm number one."
That's a good question.
I think for the Nobel Peace Prize, you get something like $250,000. It's a significant chunk of change.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what you get for
in Amazon credit.
And Amazon, yeah.
In Amazon credits.
Oh my God.
Kathy, the dream come true.
Forget it. Casey.
Yeah. He went in and heard a piece of audio from our previous break, and he came in. I don't think I've ever seen you that beat red, laughing that hard and unable to breathe before.
Oh, God. I just hope this is as funny for you guys.
He said it may not be funny for us, but it clearly floored him.
Because.
And what happened? You caught it.
No, you know what? Actually, a listener, and they texted in. Usually I hate the text board. But somebody texted in something they heard that none of us heard. So we went back and Marissa pulled up the audio. And, listen, we've worked with Kathy for how many years now?
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
No one knows.
And,
of course, Mr. Young, rocking in the free world. It is 10:15. Today, clouds. A little bit of blue sky here and there, but for the most part, cloudy. High of about 53 degrees. Tomorrow, 58 and sunshine. So that's a pretty solid day. It cools off on Thursday. 49 our high. Sunny. But this sounds pretty good. Cloudy on Friday, high 62. Saturday up to 70, but we might have to deal with some rain. That's usually what.
Still okay.
But yeah.
You know what? 70 is good no matter what.
Yeah. All right. So we're done with traffic. That means we got to do today's lesson question. We're going to give away a $100 gift card to Nebraska if you can answer this question correctly. I think I have to go with this one. Finish the next line from Reba McEntire's biggest hit, "Don't Go Tickling My Taint." And then you give me the rest of it.
That's early.
Yep, that was at 6:30 this morning. Let's see if you know the answer to that. Finish this next line from Reba McEntire's biggest hit. "Don't go tickling my taint." And then you give us the rest. All right, 215-263-WMMR. While you call, we will do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, Steve, what do we have today?
Well, Gladys Knight is furious that President Biden has ignored her request to visit the White House and discuss her company's line of COVID mitigation products. A spokesman for the White House insists the invite is forthcoming, but says they first have to run an extensive background check on the Pips.
Hey!
Sam Ashgari says he and his wife Britney Spears would be a perfect fit to star in an action movie. Ashgari says it's a guaranteed winner, especially if you take her talent and her financing and combine it with his living off her talent and financing. And finally, this is wild. Angelina Jolie reportedly had a 4-hour lunch date with billionaire heir David Mayer de Rothschild. Observers say both Jolie and Rothschild consumed over 200 wings and 100 shrimp poppers. And that's your Hollywood trip.
All right. We're going to see if we can get an answer to this question. Finish the next line from Reba McEntire's biggest hit, "Don't Go Tickling My Taint." And then you finish it. So we're going to try Keegan out. Hi, Keegan.
Hey, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, Keegan. All right. So finish this next line from Reba McEntire's biggest hit, "Don't Go Tickling My Taint."
With whiskey on your breath.
That is right. Yes. With whiskey on your breath. Hang on, Keegan. I'm going to give you a $100 gift card to Nebraska this Easter. Celebrate at Nebraska in Horsham with a unique Rodizio-style dining experience. Brunch and dinner seating is available. For reservations, you can go to Nebraska.com. All right, let's do music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Oh, boy. All right, music news is brought to you by Zane Western. You can save up to 50% off of boots during the March boot sale at Zane Western Apparel and Work Gear in Piles Grove, New Jersey. Online at zanewestern.com. A couple of tours were announced. Avenged Sevenfold is hitting the road this summer. They announced Monday that the Life is But a Dream North American Tour will run through from July 18th through August 7th. Special guest Alexis on Fire. And they will be playing in Camden, New Jersey, at the waterfront at the FM Center
on July 18th. And then Godsmack and Stained will be embarking on a 25-city co-headlining summer tour this summer. The tour kicks off on July 18th, and that will be in St. Louis, but then they're going to be at Camden at the FM Center. Pre-sale starts on Wednesday. So once again, and that show, did I say, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused here. July 28th is when that show is.
So July, there's going to be some stuff.
Yeah, you can figure it out. After 20 years in the band, Metallica bassist Robert Trujillo revealed that he's finally supplied backing vocals on the band's upcoming album, 72 Seasons, which drops on April 14th. Trujillo, or I think some people pronounce it might be Trujillo, chatted with the band's own fan magazine, So What, and shed light on his admitted lack of vocal chops. He said, when I joined Metallica, I'd never sung in my whole life. So the fact that I can now support a backup vocal is pretty cool. For the first time in my life, I get to sing on a Metallica record and support James, and I'm very proud of that. It's the first time that James and producer Greg Philbin had probably ever trusted me with that position on a recording of this stature.
Chuck D'Amico, yesterday, I asked him about some of this new Metallica stuff, and he seems to think it is phenomenal.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. That's a good sign. U2 is back at number 1 with the release of its latest album, Songs of Surrender. The album sits on top of Billboard's album rock alternative and vinyl charts and peaked at number 5 on the Billboard 200 albums chart. Across the
theme song from The Nanny.
Across the pond, Songs of Surrender has topped the charts in Ireland, Italy, Germany, Holland, and Belgium, as well as hitting number 1 on iTunes in 35 countries around the world. So it's still have a lot of people that want to get on board.
Still got some wind in our sails.
Yes, you do. I was sad to see this. Tom Leadon, the guitarist in Tom Petty's pre-Heartbreakers band Mudcrutch, died on March 22nd. He was 70 years old. Leadon's death was announced on Facebook by his brother Mark Leadon, who posted, "It's with great sadness, but profound love and gratitude for his life." The family of Tom Leadon announced his passing on March 22nd, peacefully of natural causes. His older brother was Eagles co-founder Bernie Leadon, by the way.
Wow.
Mudcrutch bandmate Mike Campbell tweeted, Tom Leadon was my deepest guitar soul brother. We spent countless hours playing acoustic guitars and teaching each other things. A kinder soul never walked the earth. I will always miss his spirit and generosity. Sleep peacefully, my old friend. The 2008 Mudcrutch album peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200, and a 4-track live single called Extended Play Live was released later that year but did not chart. A second studio set titled 2 was issued in 2016. The reunited version of Mudcrutch featured Petty on bass, Heartbreakers keyboardist Bentmont Tench, and guitarist Mike Campbell, along with co-founders Randall Marsh on drums and Leadon on guitar.
They toured. They did, played the Electric Factory, and they did nothing but Mudcrutch songs. There were no Heartbreaker songs.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was not that warmly received because there was no Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers stuff.
Totally stunk.
Right. Bono didn't like it.
No, I hated it. Thought they'd do some Petty.
But they
do
wanted
the hits.
They wanted to do it for them, you know.
So I get it. Yeah.
Do it for yourself alone.
And then finally, 50 years ago today, Led Zeppelin's 5th album, the beloved Houses of the Holy, was released in North America. It went on to hit number 1 the following May the 12th and held on the top spot for 2 weeks. And all the albums stayed in the top 10 of the Billboard 200 albums chart for 14 weeks. And it spurned a bunch of great songs. The song remains the same. Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away, The Crunge, Dancing Days, Jamaica, No Quarter, and The Ocean, to name a few.
That's how the British say Jamaica.
Jamaica. And that is what I have in music news. All right, we have one final break to take. We're going to do it. We'll come back in a second. You're going to need that letter. Really cool Word of the Week prize, and we'll get it for you when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
Smart artist character for her that it just floored me. And when you take it in that context, not the context of how it was meant, but how it is heard.
All right.
Oh my God! What? Just play it.
All right, here we go. It's very short. It's 4 seconds long.
Accidentally at the same time,
right?
That's
Oh.
Yeah.
So she says, listen. And then
now I can cut that out. I can cut the. All right, now it's just the good part.
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
As if she's saying, listen, I'm going to
Listen,
fart.
guys.
And listen to me fart.
Listen, guys.
If it was cleaner.
Yeah,
if there wasn't,
cut
if
off.
Steve is talking over her.
Listen.
That's Nick, I think, but.
Oh, maybe I can clean it up.
You
a
ruined
little
it,
bit
Nick.
more.
No, it's
way to go, Nick.
Hang on. You're going to try and edit this on the fly?
Yeah, well, try it there.
Listen.
Oh.
Yeah.
The sound effect cuts it off. It's not beforehand.
Could you
it's
do me a favor, Kathy,
do it
and just say,
again?
listen to me fart, and then play that? Could you
Go
do
ahead.
that clean? Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, just say it.
No.
Oh, no? You don't want to do that and have
No,
that live on
that's
as a clip
okay.
that we play 200 times a day?
No, I'm good.
What don't you want to say, Kathy?
No, it's fine.
Sacha Baron Cohen has his birthday as well. He is 45 years old. What's the last thing he did?
Brothers Grimsby was the name of
That's
that.
it, yes.
Oh, you just knew that, huh?
Waiting, man.
Just off the top of your head, you just knew that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
That's
so inside for us, but
All right.
we needed that for a minute.
We'll explain it. Bill yesterday said he wanted to make sure that Nick didn't come off as too know-it-all-y.
And that he should say, I found this on the internet.
And I had to clarify to Bill that I had asked Nick to look for the information that he provided. And I think people know that we say all the time, Nick, can you check that on Wiki for us or rock us a wiki? So Nick doesn't profess to be the resource of all the world's knowledge.
Casey, had you just been waiting for the first moment to say
Not
that?
the first moment, but there was a scene there. And I told him yesterday, I'm like, I'm totally going to do that to you.
That was
Chuck said
awesome.
yesterday, he's like, I can't wait to the passive-aggressive moment when you guys mentioned that on the air.
And here we are, bright and
And
early.
here we are. Oh, my God.
That was awesome.
I can discern a tonal change too when you're reading off the screen. You become robotic.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. When I read it off the screen, I get it right. Like when I come up with a fact on my own, chances are I'm wrong.
But that's kind of your charge. Is you're the one. We'll say all the time. Could you check that for us?
So you just knew that, huh?
I did just know that. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's last movie, The Brothers Grimsby.
All right, so he's
knew that
but
off
that's
the top of my head.
But that's a classic building.
Yeah,
and that's why we loved it.
Well, we did pull up the some of the top costumes that have been chosen. I forgot what the source was, but number 7, Game of Thrones, any character from Game of Thrones.
All right, who would you go if you were to have, because you are a huge Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah.
Name your character of choice.
I'm trying to think who would be worth doing and what would be worth pulling off. Yeah, Jon Snow would be pretty awesome. You get a sword, you get this big black outfit.
What about the Hound? What about Phoebe Snow, his sister?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
What about the mountain?
It'd be no. It wouldn't
The
be
hill?
mountain. No. Anyhow, moving along. Sexy Pikachu. So Pokemon's going to be popular because of Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. And Pokemon himself, right? Or not himself, but the Pokemon symbol.
Preston, you could go as Tyrion Lannister and dress like the
walk around on my knees.
Yeah,
put shoes on my
Dwarf on
knees.
golf. Yeah,
right.
You go as Dwarf on golf. Watch people try to figure that one out.
No. But he would put the shoes on his knees.
What's his name?
Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion.
Could you do Tyrion on golf?
Tyrion on golf.
So Game of Thrones, but with golf clubs.
It would be Imp on golf. Right.
Imp on golf.
Yeah. Then you have number Faye is Rey from Star Wars.
Number Faye?
Number Faye?
Did I say number Faye?
Yeah, because of Rey.
I just thought that was a line. That is so. Wow, Preston knows all the hip words for 3.
And counting down from Faye.
And now
Threy.
in number Faye. He writes, Casey, I never understand what number the songs are because you're so hip and cool. You said Faye, and I was lost. So number Faye is?
Number Faye is Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
Ray
Charles.
Ray Charles?
No, from Star Wars.
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel?
Oh, my God. You could be Ray Finkel, and she could be Einhorn.
Oh, my God. Finkel and Einhorn. That's from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You don't know Ace
You know, that current movie.
I know Ace Ventura, but I don't remember
Finkel and Einhorn.
that.
Finkel and
Preston.
Einhorn.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Go as Ray, but make it Ray Charles in a Star Wars spacesuit.
Okay, I like it.
Number 5.
Studies have found that the clothes we wear shape the perceptions other people have about our capability. For example, teaching assistants who wore formal clothes, they are perceived by students as more intelligent but less interesting than their casually dressed peers.
I wonder now with the frequency of dress down days and, internet, places like Google and Facebook where the dress is more casual, like smart casual.
Mm-hmm.
Is that perception changing?
Yeah, I think you can still dress smart casual and not dress like a slob, though. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly it.
So, not...
besmirching people who wear bib overalls to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but you don't need to be in a suit. You just need to be put together.
Yeah. I mean, you will always agree that my superhero T-shirts are
put together.
Yeah.
Well, I think Casey is the example.
I'm totally put together.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people say, are you doing any runway work?
Yes.
Because they assume you're a model.
We should do a fashion show with Casey.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You could walk the runway.
Okay.
He's up for it.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I like my clothes.
For the derelict line.
Yeah. I wear nice clothes.
You do.
They're just casual nice.
They're as nice as mine.
Yeah.
You don't wear nice clothes.
These are nice pants.
And here we go.
Nice pants, nice. You got a nice pair of slacks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure they feel nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm being honest. You wouldn't look at your outfit and go, wow, that's really nice.
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Now, Preston.
That guy looks like a gym teacher.
That is a snappy dressing gym teacher.
And I'm not putting you down by saying that, but you know what I mean.
This is a battle of semantics. Okay, so no, they are not dress jeans and a button-down shirt, but they are nice sweatpants.
Are you kidding?
They are
not
nice.
an argument. That is not a real argument.
Where are your?
That's a good effort.
Where are your leather sweatpants, please?
I'm wearing clean sneakers and day-old underpants.
On 93.3 WMMR. Are you going to be my girl? Are you?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you're going to be that guy's girl.
Will you be my mommy?
Yeah, that's what we can do.
Okay.
I mean, powder your little hiney.
It is.
You have a kiss for daddy?
It's 10:31.
I love I'm sorry.
I know.
When he looks at the kiss, he's like, so it's that way.
Right.
That's how it is
Oh
in
my
that family.
God. You have a kiss for daddy.
God.
All right, 10:31, and we are wrapping up today's program. I would like to thank Jersey Mike's for giving us all the great food this morning and the giveaways to give to you. And don't forget that tomorrow, 100% of their proceeds will go to Alex's Lemonade Stand for their month of giving. Go to jerseymikes.com for information. Thank you, the Radnor location, for sending us all the sandwiches.
They have the box with the sandwich, and they include chips and a cookie.
And thank you to Kola Bokinni from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Isaac, super nice guy. And great to have him on this morning, and happy that show is back. And thank you to Kathy Romano for my cleaning tips today. My laundry tips. It worked out wonderfully.
Good.
So you are the guru, without question. All right, we need to do a letter of the day. Is that going to fall to you, Case?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
H as in hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
All right. We are going to give away, by the way, on Friday, a pair of 2023-24 winter season passes for Montage Mountain, home of the Preston Steve Cardboard Classic. Included with each pass, you can enjoy, you get the first tracks on weekends and holidays.
Cool.
That's an hour prior to the public that you get to go on.
That's great.
Excellent. Yeah. And tickets to Mountain Fest 2024, 10% discounts on Montage Mountain food offerings and much more. Season passes are on sale now for the lowest price offered for next winter with payment plans available. Price goes up on April 2nd. So visit montagemountainresorts.com to get yours today at that price. Let's see. It's Tuesday, and we got to give away our Tattoo Tuesday. Yes. $350 gift certificate for floating rail tattoo and piercing goes to Lorraine Matissa, who's from Hamilton, New Jersey. And Lorraine, congratulations to you. You get to pick out your Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo. Don't forget that. Our friends at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. For artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. Thank you to the sponsors this morning. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin'. Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. And Family and Company Jewelers. Getting engaged? Get her the perfect engagement ring from Family and Company, South Jersey's diamond destination. Tomorrow on the program, we go live on Fox Good Day. Belinda Carlisle will be joining us.
Kathy.
That's right. You can sing for her.
I don't know about that, but.
And Danielle Rawlings, and we'll see what else we can get into. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.